Hey, what's going on, people? I don't know if anybody's out there just yet. Just kind of getting this started. Trying to find the link to the chat, or not to the chat, but to the StreamYard thing real quick. As often as I've been on here doing lives and whatnot, you'd think that I could work through this a little bit faster. Nope, not at all. Not at all. So if anybody wants to jump in, there is the link right there. Feel free. HTX, what's going on, man? I saw you got a pretty stacked live coming up on Sunday night, right? It's talking about reselling, right? I think that's what it was. I want to say I saw something in passing about it. Coffee, what is going on, man? JD, welcome. Thank you for showing up too. So yeah, I mean, as you guys see in the title and all, and all that, unbox of nothing crazy, right? I'm going to tell you right now, this unboxing is mostly going to be underwhelming, right? But it's something that I got in and I have to return it. And I figured, you know what? Why not? I'm not going to do a review because I basically just did the review in the same situation. So this time around, I'll just open it up, show you guys a thing or two, and then let that be that. But so what are you guys up to tonight? Seemed like there were people there, and then all of a sudden everyone just disappeared. Maybe they just got quiet. I don't know. See, because JD and HTX and Coffee were all in there for a second, and then silence. I'm not sure if anybody's still on or not. StreamYard is saying, oh, shoot, HTX. I was looking over. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
Not too much. Just sitting back, kind of killing some time on YouTube. I mean, it's like the time killer right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I know pretty much I just be hopping on everyone's lives whenever they're live. I know Dale's goes live about 3 times a day.
Yeah, I keep seeing like I miss all of well, I've missed most of them, and then I'll see one, but I won't be able to jump in. But yeah, he's on there all the time because I'll be scrolling through my subscriptions or whatever, and I'll see he was live 4 hours ago. I'm like, what? Then later it's like, man, what time? There's no consistency to it, which is cool. He's able to just jump online whenever he feels like it.
I aspire to be like that one day.
Yeah, it would be nice. It definitely would. But yeah. Yeah, so let me go ahead and open this up real quick. Not too many people in there, but that's cool. Doesn't much matter because I know like every other time I do like a live or whatever, some people show up like maybe 20 minutes into it, hour into it. You know, some of it like you was like right there when it starts. So
Yeah, I'll be jumping in and out.
yeah, let me get this box here. I don't know where the return thing is. I'll figure that out later. But yeah, so basically this right here, it's the what do you call it? Obsidian, not Obsidian. Ewan's. Man, what was it? Indigo. Keep wanting to say all the other blues. You know what I mean? Yeah. So child size right there. See that? Got that 6 on there. So what happened with these was 313 Retro Queen. She was trying to get her pair, and Champs or Footlock, whoever it was that had her reservation, it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well that's cool. Like I'll try for you, right, when release morning rolls around. And I don't know if she saw the message or not, but because, when it's release morning, people are busy, right? They are looking at all kinds of sites. They're on their phone trying to see like if anybody's getting them, to see like is there one site that's working or one site that's just completely shut down. So I found these on Foot Action, and like I was telling Homegrown not too long ago, like about an hour into the release, they were easy to get, like straight to cart, easy to get. You'd think that you were on there buying like a pair of socks. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull these things out, do the quick comparison between these and the adult size. I mean, it's not the biggest adult size, but it's I mean, it's an 8.5, so yeah. So, but I gotta say though, these look really good, really good. I was surprised because I was on the fence.
I like those.
Yeah, I was very much on the fence. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was gonna get them because
right,
this is my thing. But I was on the fence about how much I was gonna like them because I'd heard about the rub away feature and I like them how they look.
Right.
I say, man, I don't really want something that rubs away with the possibility of it looking worse. You know what I mean? Because if you guys know how it is, like all the other shoes that had the rub away feature, they released like the Wings 12. They released with pictures to tell you what you're going to see under it. And so then these, nothing. All it said was it changes. But really though, like I was saying in that video I did a while ago about the universities, the only difference is that on the bottom. Hold on a second. Let me blow this up a little bit. That right there, because on the grade school, a grid, and then on the man size, you have, I don't know, almost like a snake kind of looking thing,
Like a tribal kind of.
Yeah, so that's the only difference. Cool, because like otherwise, the back is exactly the same. The 2-3 over there is the same. Can't really see the insole so much, but that's the same. Yeah. Jumpman is labeled exactly how this one is. Because I know I was watching somebody did a review.
Really good pair.
Somebody did a review of, man, what was it? It might have been like a 4 or maybe a 3. I don't know, something. But sometimes there's a lot of differences between the grade school and the adult size.
Right.
Which is crazy to me.
True.
The material on the adult size pair that you just showed, it looks really nice on the outside. Like it looks like it might be soft. Like
it is like this is super soft. It's like roll of toilet paper soft.
Oh my gosh! Man, it just bothers me even more that I just missed it.
Yeah, and that's
what kind of toilet paper are we talking? Charmin, Scott?
Oh no, like the one with the bear on it, where it's like the extra big, like cushiony, super soft roll.
The sensitive version.
Yeah, like, I don't know what that brand is, but that's the one that I buy.
And then they said, like, with the rub away feature, that it's not like a rub away where there's something underneath it. They said it's more so like a rub away. You know how like you have an old pair of jeans that might fade over time.
Yeah,
natural. Yeah, they said it's like that, and that every pair is so different because it's got like different like depths of color to it that they all wear differently. So.
Right, and I heard from I was in the chat on somebody's live recently, and they were saying that some people's pairs were starting to show that already, just because like they had been left in not extreme heat, but like they'd been left somewhere hot. You know what I mean? Like maybe when they were in the box and took them a while to get home that day, so they didn't get them off the porch until whenever. But
that's crazy.
But yeah, some people's pairs have started to show different stuff already. I mean, I haven't seen any pictures still, but I'm very curious how that's going to work. So that kind of makes me want to wear these that much more now, so I can, you know, wear them how they are. You know,
Right.
get some steps in them. But yeah, it's very cool though. I mean, they even put the same card in here and everything on the grade school pair. So they gave them the fair treatment, in my opinion. And with like the nice box.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I didn't get those. That was the craziest thing.
And
Because
yeah,
I had them on Champs, so I didn't go for anywhere else.
right.
And they were saying we're getting your order ready, and then like I think that Monday or Tuesday they said your order is shipping out, and then Wednesday morning I noticed in like my drop notifications I had a message from Champs, and I was like, oh yay, they're gonna say that my package has been delivered.
Yeah.
But I looked at it and it said we canceled some things on your order, and I'm like, some things? I only got one item, and then I was
Yeah. Man, that is crazy to me, because like I've had that happen with but the times I had it happen was with Adidas, and it was weeks after the order, and it was for, what was it? Because it happened twice. Once with the Citroen 350s and once with the Inertia 700s. But I'm saying it was probably 3 weeks after like the order date and all that stuff.
wow.
So I was like, well, what do you mean you canceled it? Like, for what reason? Like, yeah, they gave me like a gift card. I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. Like, I mean, appreciate the gift card, but like,
Right. But I really
how
wanted
does
to
that
shoot.
work? And the bigger thing, and I'm sure, and you can kind of say the same, is like, not too long later, they had a restock. You know what I mean? You know how those sites are.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
so I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, so you said you couldn't find my pair, that it was supposed to have left your warehouse, and then you cancel the order, and then like the next week, magically you have a bunch for sale.
Right. So somewhere in
And
that restock,
yeah,
there's my pair of shoes. Yeah.
and this wasn't, and it wasn't like that was this kind of era. This was like, when did those even come out? Like mid last year, like September, October.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but luckily, at least for the Citrons, I went on, what was it? I went on StockX, and they had them for under retail for whatever reason. People were just really trying to get rid of them, and they were desperate. So I put in a bid for 215, and somebody accepted it.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, I was like, man, I mean, I'm very adamant about not going over retail.
Right.
But I mean, I was fully ready to pay the 220 that somebody would have wanted. So
And I think eBay did a huge release for those Indigos because they had them for like 205. And I was like, yeah, I could get them off of eBay, but knowing my luck, I'll get them off of eBay and they'll be a fake pair of Indigos. Even though it was supposed to be like an official eBay directly selling them, but the couple of years ago, 2 pairs of shoes that I purchased off of eBay were fake. So eBay and shoes have kind of ruined that experience for me.
yeah, knowing what I know now, I would be more cautious to
Right.
buy from eBay. Now, the bulk of my purchases in the past were just general release Air Maxes, that, because you know how every year, like, let's say now they've got the Vapor Max 2020, right?
Right.
Imagine it's months later, and the color that you happen to want, you can't find in stores anymore, at least not in your size. So
Right.
it's very much general stuff that I was buying. So I'm going to assume that the stuff that I bought is not fake, because like, who would bother faking something that was like so massively released?
Right. You would hope so.
Right, you would hope so, but like, I can't say for 100%. And besides, that was years ago. So it's like it doesn't even matter.
Right, it don't matter anymore.
It's like all I can do now is like if I miss out on something, it's like, okay, well, that does kind of suck, but maybe I'll come up on something later and I can trade for it.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is kind of what I'd suggest to you, because right now I'm thinking, and I haven't looked at stock. I don't even know where my phone is.
I think they're under retail right now. I think they might be under retail or just at retail. I might be lucky enough to get them. But it's like this coming week, Jordan Brand has flooded with so many different shoes. Like they've got the ones, what do they call, like barbecue or something like that?
What was that word? Baroque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they've got the 7s that are dropping, and then I think they've got the player exclusive, non-player exclusive Oregon 5s, the apple green 5s is what they're calling them.
Yeah, I saw that. And
they're all dropping within, like, you can't even say it's a week and a half. They're all dropping within that week time span, because the ones are here, and then like sometime during the middle of the week are the 7s, and then the weekend is the 5s. I'm not so hot on the 5s, but I mean they're a nice color.
I want to like the 5s more because I'm a big 5s guy.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you see your model, like the one of your top models, like getting this kind of treatment that's not quite 100% there. It's
right.
It's like, man, come on. Because I look at it and I understand that, like the ones are kind of like up there. So they get all the colors all the time. 11s are right there behind them pretty much.
Right.
But I just wish that some of those other things would get some more attention. And I kind of feel like if they did, like let's say people started throwing, or Jordan started throwing more colorways of 8s out, right? I think more people would kind of start paying them attention and maybe buy into them.
Yeah. That is a really good point, because when you think about it, there aren't very many variations to the 8.
No.
And that's how I think that's how the 5 was until this year, until they celebrated like the 30th anniversary of the 5s.
Which is like way under what they did for the 30th anniversary of the Air Max 90.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I don't know if I would. I don't know. Like, a part of me, like you said, wants to like the 5 and wants to go for it. Not only because I like the 5, but because I bought the yellow Michigan, non-Michigan 5s.
Okay.
And I feel like it's a PE, non-PE kind of series that they're doing.
Right.
We all know you're not exactly going to get the player exclusives. Otherwise, they wouldn't be player exclusives.
Yeah, so, it just gets you in that like complete the set sort of mind.
Right. But I feel like if I jump on them when they come out, they're not going to do anything but go under retail. And am I going to regret paying? What is it, like $220?
It was one of those higher priced ones from what I recall. Let me see what Sneakers had to say. And so for me, it's like I look at stuff like that and I see the color and I'm like, I mean, I like green. That's one of my favorite colors. But then I'm like, for some reason, I don't like this though. And then I see
right. It's not the best green on there.
And then I look at it, I'm like, man, these Sprite Can 5.
Right. It's like when I don't know what happened when I saw I don't know if it was like mock-ups or it might have been like the first official images. I actually liked the shoe. I was kind of excited for it. And then I don't know what happened. I'm just like, these shoes are kind of ugly. But
And that's the thing, because like that happens, I assume to everybody, because I know it happens to me a lot. Like I'll see something, and this is why I don't get excited about. I'm like, oh hey, look what's coming out in December 2023. I'm like, no, no. But so, like I see these things coming up from like miles and miles away as a possibility, and I try not to pay them any attention. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There are times when something gets thrown at you and you're like, you know, if those come out, like I could see going for those. I think the Bloodline ones was one of those releases that I'd seen like a while ago and was like,
right.
that could be cool.
Yeah,
But
because I think the bloodlines were being advertised as the breads before they were actually known as the bloodlines.
mhm. And because for me, that's one of those cases like what everybody complains about with like Yeezys, how they all look the same. And it's like, well, okay, the 350 is a model that has one of two designs, right? You either have like the alternated stitching or you
Right,
have a flat color.
right,
Like that's it. So of course they're going to look the same to an extent. But then the other part of it is like, look, yes, there are a lot of similar ones with that same stitching pattern, but they're not really marketing those for everybody. It's like
right,
if you got the Lund mark, you maybe don't need to go after this particular one. Like, but there's somebody that's like, even with like the Jordan ones, there's always
exactly.
somebody that, like in my case, I've seen a lot of black, red, and white ones that just didn't stand out to me.
Right.
But then I see the bloodlines, and it's like, okay, these I like. I don't know what it is, but these are doing it for me. And so
I
then you
don't.
get those.
You know what? I didn't like the bloodlines, and I think I didn't like the bloodlines because they had done so many black and red Jordan ones around that time, and then of course it was hyped up because everybody was saying it was supposed to be another release of the breads, and the breads were the ones I did not get. And before the bloodlines came out, they did the Defiance, and I think it might have been another one. And I was just like, black and red variant out. I was just so tired of the black and red variant.
It's a very common color to throw out there, and it's like,
Yeah.
what was it like last year? They did because they had the bread fours, and then they had some gray fours, right?
I think so. Yeah. The bread
Yeah,
fours
so
and then the cool gray for the cool gray fours
yeah,
or something like that.
because I saw those, and I was thinking like these gray ones are pretty nice, and I don't know if it was just like fatigue of seeing the black and red, or if they were just that much better, you know?
Right.
Because sometimes like all it takes is just something different to get your
And then I
attention.
think earlier that year they had done like the black cat fours as well. So it was like the black cats and then the breads and then like the gray fours. And I left the black fours alone. And then I picked up the breads because I had never had them. And it's a staple for everybody's sneaker collection to have the bread fours. And then like the gray fours, I wanted them, but I didn't get them.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, okay, they're just gray fours. I'll be able to catch them on sale. And well, joke's on me.
Yeah. It can be very crazy sometimes, like how the releases work and what sells and what doesn't. Because like I would never have imagined certain things just like flying off shelves while certain other things just sit. Like,
Yeah.
years ago, that was the case with the Storm Blues. To me, solely based on the color of the Storm Blues, I think they should have sold out just because they look that good, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need the story. Sometimes it's just the visual, to me, is enough. But
I think the Storm Blues didn't sell because that's the one that is completely blue with the good leather on it, or
no, you're thinking of Hyper Blue or something. Like the Storm Blues were like white and blue.
Okay.
I can't think of
Because I
better
know they had the
description?
Royals, and then they had the Game Royals, and then I know it was like that all blue one, whatever the name for those were.
Let me find, where's that screen share option? I just throw that up there. So those were the Storm Blue ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you remember them now, right? Yeah.
Would I get those?
Those were late 16 or 17.
Oh, probably. Okay, because if it was 16, I didn't get them because that's when I had just started back grabbing stuff. It was 16.
Let me see. Because if they show up on StockX, that'll have like the release date on there. Because like I'm curious now, but a lot of people liked the, Jesus Christ, what? Like, what is this? And that's the size that nobody wanted those for a while. And this was, did I pass it?
Yeah. It's usually in the little gray bar up under the shoe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 12/16.
Okay.
Number 16.
16. Did I?
But yeah.
I might have those and don't realize I have them. I
don't. Yeah, those were nice. Like when they were coming out, I didn't really look into getting them because I thought that hey, vlogging with Demetrius, what's going on, man? When they were coming out, I didn't even bother looking into it because it looked like something that would sell out because it just made sense to me. So I sold myself short, you know? And so then I move on and I'm just kind of walking through the mall, doing the normal things. And I see them and I'm like, oh, hey, do you guys have my size? And they said it in a way, like not like snobbish, because like I go in there and deal with these guys all the time, but they said it as if like, yeah, we've got like all the sizes. Like, well, whatever, pick one, you know?
Right.
So I tried on one. Well, yeah, because first I got like a 9.5, and because that's, you know, what I often go with, like for like Air Maxes, but I like a more snug fit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'll often go down a half on the ones. I mean, I still say they're a true to size fit, but I like them to fit how I want them to fit.
I wonder if I could ever go down half a size. But I don't know if I would ever want to go down half a size because that would put me in the 9.5, and a 9.5 is more expensive than a 10.
Yeah, yeah, that is a tough call there because like you don't. Yeah, I have some, strangely, like if you're looking for a 9.5, I don't know if it's just my luck or whatever, but it seems like if you're looking for a 9.5 and a 350, you are okay. But anything else,
because I think my shoe size is like the middle of the road where it's not a whole lot of them, but it's just enough where I can get my size in most pair compared to like a 9.5, 9 or a 10.5, 11. So I'm like, I'm kind of okay with being a size 10. And then that also leaves me room to get into those extended GS women's sizes.
Yeah.
And not have my foot look itty bitty at the same time. So.
And that is the thing, right? Because I know there's a pair of what is it? There's a pair of 8s coming out. I guess
I want those. I know exactly. I think are they 8s or are they like 7s?
No, 8s. Like it's a grade school release, pink and black.
Oh, I saw those. Okay, yeah.
The pop pink sickle, I think is what they're called.
Yeah.
And man, what's he say? 9 to 10 or sample sizes. Yeah, like I want those shoes. Now I'm not going for them because I've picked up some stuff recently. I've got my eye on some other things later on in the month. So something doesn't make the cut.
Right.
Those. But I also have those pink and black grade school 12s that are very much the same thing.
Yeah.
But man, they just look good and I want them. But
There's a pair of women's
Oh, BX
six
all in hand.
that are coming out, and they're gray, and they've got like the clear side panels. I want those.
Wait, you say that again? It's a pair of what?
Sixes, I believe.
Clear side panel. Okay.
And they're women's exclusives, and they've got like a clear side panel. Let me see. See if I can find the name of it.
Because that's the thing, like with them releasing shoes so often, it's like it's so hard to keep up with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It almost devalues them in some ways. I mean, obviously, like a year down the line, if you're like trying to be in the resale thing, it's a kind of a long game situation in a lot of cases. But if you want to get the most out of them, you just gotta wait. But at the same time, with there being so many, it's like people are always looking at the next thing, you know?
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I'll see so many people talking about whatever is coming up this weekend or the next weekend. And then that weekend rolls around, like, yeah, I got these, but now, I got to get whatever's coming up 2 weekends from now, 3 weekends from now.
that's basically. I mean, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Because if you collect sneakers, you go through that almost every week. But
Right.
For what was it? It was a pair that dropped recently, and I didn't get them, and it's just like I wasn't bothered because I know the ones come out this weekend. I know the sevens come out 4 days after that. So I was like, well, I didn't get it. That kind of sucks, but okay, on to the next.
Yeah, it's not like they're releasing shoes like quarterly. So where if you didn't get these, you have to wait till winter for the next release. Now some people do take them a little harder, but for me, I mean, what I guess helps me to some extent is the fact that the stuff that I go for, like that I really want, things like, because I mean, again, I'm all about the 12s, right? So there's those, but like the only pair that really jumped out to me this year that I was like, okay, I'm going all in on these was the University Gold 12s.
Yeah, and those are really nice.
And I got them, got my pair, got mom's pair somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. So cool, and past that, the only other release this year that held a lot of like you can call it sentimental value, I guess, was those VaporMax 360s, because the Air Max 360 is what got me into shoes. Right? And nobody is buying those. Like,
right.
Those are, I bought them day one. I did get a discount, but I bought them day one. And I remember walking into Foot Action and like, wait, $220. Like, I don't even, like, I want these. So
but I don't.
But why? Because it's like, it makes no sense to me. So you're bringing back an old look on a shoe that is also old. Like,
right.
VaporMax is not new anymore. It's not 2017.
That is true. I like VaporMax myself, but it's like,
what's going on, Jeezy?
I think they go overboard with the VaporMax. Sometimes they do a little too much. And I like the original colorways, but like some of the new stuff, it's hard to get into.
So I think when it comes to the VaporMaxes, I personally feel like the simple ones, like just the standard VaporMax Flyknit 3 or the 2,
yeah,
those are solid, right? I've got no problems with those. But some of those ones where they were putting the sole onto other things, or there's
yeah.
Now, the VaporMax Plus That one I feel like worked out. And obviously it did because it's the only one they're still making.
Right.
Any VaporMax 97s or
That
VaporMax
was horrible.
95s,
Yeah.
you still see the Plus though, like still being made, and you see like casual people wearing them.
Right.
People
Because
that
it still kind of looks like it still looks like a plus, but it's not exactly a plus. It's not altering a really great classic look like they did with the 97s. And I think with the 97s, what made it worse was when they came out, when they retroed those all gold 97s, and then they ended up trying to put the VaporMax Soul on a retro all gold 97. And it's like, no,
it's
don't
like,
do it.
because
Please don't do it.
the VaporMax look, it gives things a bulky look because of just the design of it, right? Like you can't argue that. It's a very
Right.
bulky look. So on a shoe that is made to be like streamlined and slimmed down and everything,
Yeah.
it kind of just takes all that away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so you look at it and you think, okay, I like 97s. I like pluses. I mean, I like VaporMaxes, but that shouldn't
Right.
have that. It's weird.
That
It's
baby
just
shouldn't have been born or been
yeah,
made.
like why are these things in the same place? It's like maybe you like chicken and maybe you like chocolate, but like you probably don't eat them together, right? So,
Right.
so the VaporMax is no different than 97 when they put it on all other models. Man, yeah, like I said, I mean, I have a pair of like the 97 Plus, the Air Max 97 Plus, right?
Yeah.
And that one, you kind of have to know what you're looking at to know like
Right.
why it doesn't quite look right. I mean,
Right.
it's like, don't get me wrong, the shoe looks fine, but like if you're used to pluses, you're gonna look at that and think something's a little different about these. Because it's just like they have a very similar sole,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Exactly.
like when you put that 97 bubble on a plus, you're just like, it's still very much the same. It's just that lower part.
Right. And that's kind of what you want. Like you want it to look the same, but be different and not look too different.
Yes. Yeah. But I don't know. Like I feel kind of like they got that all out of their system. but we're gonna see, because like they did it last year with the 720 seemingly all throughout the year and nobody cared. And
Yeah.
now they have redesigned the VaporMax bottom for 2020. But
They did it with the Presto Reacts or the whatever the little sole they did with those.
oh yeah, like they just react on a lot of things.
And I kind of liked them. And I remember, because I'm a huge fan of the Prestos.
Yeah.
I've only, like, growing up, I only had one pair of Prestos, but they were the best pair of Prestos I ever had, and I wore them out.
Yeah.
And when I heard the Prestos were coming back, and I saw that Presto React, and I'm like, okay, I mean, the upper is like knitted or neoprene, so that reminds me of a Presto.
Right.
I'm like, this cage is not exactly Presto, and where did this it's like, where did this chunky sole come from? And I'm like, okay, so this is not exactly the Presto I remember, but my memory is not that good. I'm gonna try them on, and it just didn't feel the same. So I passed on those. And then I actually saw them coming out with the real Prestos, and it lit up like Christmas for me. So, I mean, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So for me, because again, I don't know if you might have seen, like I did a Presto collection video a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously like I'm on board with the Prestos in all shapes and forms, but like it was the original ones that got my attention, right? Like your your average person would say that, wasn't born, I guess, before 2010 or something. But but anyways, so when the React Prestos were coming around, I was intrigued in the sense that I'd heard so many good things about the React, and I did have some Element 87s at that point, so I knew what they could be like. And I hadn't seen a Presto in a long time.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then McFly, it's like if you ever look at my very first React Presto video, the opening alone, you can tell where that came from. Yeah, because it was McFly. He kept saying like, hey, you gotta try them, because I know you're always buying the comfortable shoes.
Right.
My thing. So eventually I was like, you know what? All right. Maybe it was like a kind of a lull between releases or whatever the case was. I went out, I bought them, and yes, it's to this day, it's still a shoe that like I have certain reservations about suggesting to people,
Right.
only because the look.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I'll tell them, I'm like, these things are super comfortable if you find the pair for you.
Right.
Even with like a caveat to it, like there are certain things I'll tell anybody like right now, like go buy an Ultra Boost 19. Like, trust me, it's a solid shoe. You're gonna like it because it doesn't have a look that puts people off. You know what I mean?
Right.
It looks just like a normal shoe. You can wear it casually if you buy kind of like some more laid out in colors, things that aren't like all in your face.
Right.
But if you want something that's vibrant, they also have a bunch of that.
Because like the React Prestos to me are like the dad shoe version of the Presto. And it's like they look good, and they look good from a distance. And if it's the color for you, like you said, you'll really love them.
Oh yeah.
Well, like you pick them up, and if you're familiar with Prestos, you pick them up and you look at them, and you have that thing where you're like, okay, something is not quite right, but it kind of works. And again, like I almost bought that pair of React Prestos I tried on. I think it was like the red pair, because I know they were doing like the little animal theme for those ones that were coming out, like the little anime themes. And I think the red pair was like a panda pair or something like that on the inside.
Was it like the Rabid Panda one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, I like this. It stands out enough where, it catches people's eye. But I saw that React on there, and I was just like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I think what you got to do is like, at some point, and you'll see it, like, because the way prices and stocks go, like one day, I think you need to just buckle down and just get like a cheap pair that's like, that you can find locally. That's like that Lightning pair. I'm not suggesting those, but like that Lightning pair is often for like $80-$90 or something. So they do go pretty low. So I think maybe you just like find a pair that's, a color you can get behind, and just wear them for a while. You know what I mean? Just beat them into the ground. But I think once you see them, you're like, and you start wearing them, you're like, okay, this isn't bad, like, because that's what it is. Like I look at them, and even still, like that side cage, it's always like, man, that is a weird design.
Right.
Like, but I still like, I'm on board enough that I don't worry about it. Same thing with like the 350s. I will tell anybody, like, yes, I am all for the 350 comfort, but the 350 look is an acquired taste, and I have not acquired it.
Right.
But again, so when people are like, oh man, I'm trying to get into shoes, I'm gonna get some Yeezys. It's like, look, don't. Just like
exactly
take because more than likely, if you're trying to get into shoes, you're probably looking at resale pairs and finding the cheapest.
Right.
So it's like if you're about to spend, let's call it $330 on a pair of shoes. Spend $330 on pairs of shoes.
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Go get you, because I was telling, I forget the guy's name, Luke something, Luke Forth, right? So I think that was it. But anyways, like the guy that I shouted out in my top shoes under $100 thing,
Yeah. I
he
remember that.
because he had left a comment saying he wanted to start buying shoes because he has money now. And so he wasn't looking for anything crazy. So I gave him some suggestions, through the video. And then I think we talked back and forth in some comments, either on that video or on something somewhere else, right? Because he was looking at things. He's like, okay, a lot of those are pretty good choices. I can find those for cheap. And then he's like, yeah, what do you think about these Gore-Tex Air Force Ones? And I think there was some kind of Asics that he saw. So he kind of understood the whole point to like, you can get more for your money if
Right.
you think a little more realistically, and you'll have
Unless
that
you
variety.
absolutely know what it is you're getting into. Yeah, do not spend a boatload of money.
Right. And that's kind of one of those things where if you jump online and you start looking for shoes, like if you just type in 2020 shoes or whatever big thing you type in, like if you're just trying to find shoes, right? Because I assume that's what people do. And as a tip for myself that I pass on you, always make sure you have some of those vague descriptions in your tags in YouTube. So if somebody just types in like blue and white 12s, maybe your video will pop up, right?
Right.
Because not everybody knows what they are. They're just like, it's like a blue and white 12.
Right.
But anyway,
it's almost like if somebody says, okay, I want to get into shoes and I hear Jordan 1s are really nice. I tell anybody, stay away from Jordan 1s unless you are really into it. Because if you're gonna look for a pair of Jordan 1s and you say, oh, everybody's talking about it, well, they look nice, and they're popular with a lot of people, and you go out and you spend $400, you spend all of your $400 on a pair of Jordan 1s, and then you put them on your feet and you realize either number one, they don't fit how you think they're gonna fit, or number two, they don't have the comfort that you thought they might have.
Yeah.
You just ruined your whole experience.
Yeah, you got to get some orthopedic inserts or something. But then at the same time, like, I mean, if I spent that much money on something, which I wouldn't personally, like, I'd not want to wear it. You know what I mean? Because it's
right. That's true.
Unless it's like the right time or whatever. Like, as it is, because I've paid retail for my things and because they are generally like nothing special, I'll wear them wherever. I do have a couple exemptions from that. So like when I got my Dornbecker 7s, they have like the guitar style to them.
Yeah, I love those.
When I got those, I haven't worn those yet because when I was in New Mexico, that's where I got them. And I was like, and there's like rocks and dirt and sand everywhere. And I was like, I know these are shoes and they'll get messed up, but I don't want to just like destroy them like in one wear. I'll wait, and I just haven't been anywhere to wear them really. What's going on, Derek? But so I'm just looking at it like that. And so I tell people, it's like, look, if you get on there and you just type in something about shoes on YouTube, right? Whatever random keyword you're thinking, the first things you see are going to be the big names talking about some big money they spent.
Yeah.
And you're going to get in the mindset, potentially, depending on you, that you need to be on that level. Whereas really, if you pay a little more attention to kind of what's lying under there, the foundation of that, you'll see there's a lot of stuff out there. And you don't also want to run out straight to the store. And if you're trying to like show people like, hey, I'm cool too, like, and you just run to Champs and you buy like the first pair of Jordans you see, there is a solid chance that you can show up with something that would be laughable. I mean, even if it's not just like one of those random mixes where it's like looks like an 11, but it kind of has like an 8 strap on it, but there's a Jumpman. So even if you skip that and you just get like a random one, somebody is gonna be like, oh, is that a mid? Right? Because there's always gonna be that person.
Right.
And or they'll look at it like, oh, yeah, those aren't too bad. Like, yeah, I had some of those, but I sold them. It's like, like you got to make sure you're around the right people.
Right.
Like,
you can't please everybody all the time.
Right. So it's best to just, if you're gonna get into it with the right intentions, and that being like, find what speaks to you, and go from there. And
Absolutely.
And like the same with like the YouTube, like starting that whole thing, you know. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that they want to make sure, when they start their channel, like they have like a whole bunch of stuff that everybody wants to see. They know how to do all these crazy transitions and all this stuff. Like, it was months before I did any kind of edit, like even text. It was like,
I was gonna say, like,
it's like you hit record, when it's done, you hit stop, and that is the video.
Right. I still, like, I'll look at somebody like Boat Kicks, and I'm just like, Boat has some insane inserts and edits and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can only dream of doing inserts and edits like that. For the life of me, I struggle with edits. Number one, I hate Photoshop.
Right.
Number two, because I use like Adobe, After Effects is almost a foreign language. Like, I'm just really starting to get down Premiere Pro, and just the basics of Premiere Pro is what I'm just starting to get down. So I can definitely understand that.
Like, the thing that I've always heard with things like the Creative Cloud, the Office Suite, like 90% of the people use 10% of the features, 10% of the people use 90%, right?
Right.
So most people aren't using a lot of that stuff. And for me, like, I've picked up a few things because I'll watch a video or something here and there to kind of like switch up from the shoe thing, because I do subscribe.
Right.
90% of my subscriptions are shoes, sure, but then there's like a couple that are wrestling and like some Photoshop type things in there. So I'll just watch some of that once in a while, and I'll look at it and I'm like, you know what, that would be a pretty cool way to like transition into like from the on foot to this or whatever. But it's like, I don't care to do that though.
Right.
I have all that software, but like all people, because it's also a matter of like, what are people looking for, right? And in the videos that we're putting out there, people are looking for certain things, If you have that, I've seen people with high-end production where it looks like they have a budget and like they aren't going anywhere. Well,
right.
They go somewhere slowly, you know what I mean? So it's like, that isn't going to make you better in the eyes of people, but it'll do something for the people that are already watching you, sure.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I'll throw in some like random little edits. Like, if you watch like the first half of my 350 uploads video, there's a lot of random crap going on in that. Like, for no reason at all. It's like, because that was one of those videos where I was like, you know what? I'm doing a giveaway. Screw it. People are just going to watch like the 2 minutes of it to find out what they need to do. They probably caught on to the trend of how I do these things. But I'm going to have some fun with it, since I'm the one that has to sit here in this chair and make this video.
Right.
So I'm going in there and I'm like finding pictures of like Orange is the New Black, and I'm slipping in Bret Hart things. So I'm like other videos, and I'm just doing that stuff because why not? It's like, it's not any crazy edits. The other thing I've learned about some of those edits, like when I was going to blur out my address on a video once, and it was going to take forever just to render the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I just threw a picture up there, and I was like, this is fine. Because like that, if anything, makes it less to do, because then it's hiding the video.
Right. I saw that. I watched a YouTube video on how to blur things out, because a couple of my videos, how I have like the scenes in the back behind me on the TV. Like I had a bunch of videos with Travis Scott's music video playing, and then for whatever reason, out of the blue, for one video, it was like copyright strike, and for that Travis Scott video, and I'm like, you gave me one for that one video in particular, but all the other ones with that same video in there, you left them alone. So I think the next video I ended up doing when that Travis Scott video popped up, because I had already recorded it and it was waiting to be edited. I saw how long, like you said, it was going to take to just do that blur motion and keep it tracking on the item. And I was like, no, I'm okay. Exactly. So I just threw up a picture with like the purple devil emoji, and I typed in, I'm doing this so I don't get copyright strike.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, because it's like, I mean, I do need to build a new computer, and when I do that, maybe it'll open my eyes to doing some of that other stuff. But right now, man, like, I'm good. Like, people watch, like Derek was saying in the, I have that on the screen. Like Derek was saying right there, like the personality is what people watch, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I guess after a certain point, it's like then people just watch you because you're popular. But right now, we're in that level of like, you got to be somebody to like hold people's attention, you know?
Yeah.
Like talk and explain what you're thinking, so that way people understand what you're trying to say. They pick up on like the little tips you're trying to give them, you know what I mean? And maybe like just show who you are in there. Because on the other side of it, I've met people, you know, or I've had subscribers or just met people in general, like through Instagram, they'll see non-shoe related things like Chris, I don't know what his last name is. His username is just Chris. Like he saw the Iowa pictures and he was like, hey, I'm going to subscribe because like, you know, Iowa. And because he had like the Hawkeyes logo as his avatar and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we talked on the side about some things from back in Iowa, you know? And of course, like the wrestling things, sometimes people notice that, or I've had videos where people like, what was it? Those bright green Air Max 90s that I had, not the lime ones, but like the other ones. Somebody commented like, man, like I haven't listened to that band in years, because like it was the shirt I was wearing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how much of that video the dude watched. Maybe none. But he saw the shirt in the thumbnail. It's like, you know? So sometimes like that extra little bit of personality can bring in more people, you know, because they see more than just you holding up, like, hey, check it out. I also got the new sixes.
Right. Absolutely. Now, and speaking of the sixes, the ones that I was talking about earlier, they're the smoke gray women's sixes that come out September 24th.
Okay, smoke. Let's see what those looking like. Smoke gray women's sixes. What? Like, no, not to you, but okay. You know how like when you search for something on Google, sometimes like the first results are not at all what you want. Like the first pictures were ones, Converse. That's a 95. That's a New Balance in the 500 series. There's a 12 in here. I don't know what. Like, let me show you this. Where's that window? There. Like, you see that, like, all that stuff at the top. I'm like, what is this? Like,
well, I guess
because that's like
when I searches for the color gray. I don't know, because that's definitely not.
Yeah, because when I typed it in and I saw that, I was like, so maybe I'd mistyped something. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes you're like not fully paying attention. You're typing because the letters haven't moved in years. You know what I mean? Like you kind of know what they are. And then I saw that, and I'm like, maybe I did mess up.
And then what StockX does when you type shoes in on Google, where they show stuff like the $247, there's no way you're getting those Jordan 1s for $247.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. I just leave them be. I do know that there have been a time or two where I was on, what was it? I searched for, I think it was when Derek was talking about how he wanted the Ice Mint Ultra Boost 19s that I have. And I went online and just like I went on Google and I typed them in, like Ice Mint, like Ultra Boost 19, see where all they might be on sale and stuff. And one of the cool things was like that my video popped up as one of the search results. I was like, well, that's
Nice. Yeah.
it's a
That's
little
always an
weird in a way,
accomplishment.
but it's cool,
I saw where you posted maybe like 2 weeks ago where your name became a hashtag.
Yeah, that was because like when I'm in because I have the TubeBuddy thing enabled, and so sometimes when I think it's because of that, but like I'll start typing in like not hashtags, like tags for the videos, and it'll just kind of give you like suggestions. And so in all of my videos, or at least most of them, because it is a lot of letters, I'll put like shoes up, sleeves down as one of the
Right.
tags. And so I go to start typing it, and it's like shoes up, sleeves down, Yeezy, shoes up, sleeves down, Ultra Boost. And I'm like, are people searching for that? Like, because that's usually where that comes from, And I'm like, well, I do cover my share of Ultra Boosts, or haven't done one lately. And there's definitely been a number of Yeezys, that's for sure.
That's
But
not
it's just like it was kind of cool to see that, 'cause
right. I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, that's pretty cool.
yeah, I was pretty content with that, knowing like, okay, I must be doing something right, And let's see, G's back in here. But yeah, man, it's the whole shoe thing is just it's a weird little world, Like you try to get in wherever you can fit in and just do you, and then claim your little piece of the land. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there are a lot of people here. Now it's like I don't know how many people actually go through with it, but there are definitely a lot of people traveling down this avenue.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not gonna get way down into there because like when it's time for round two of that, remember the starting YouTube video
Yeah.
like a while ago?
Yeah.
I'll let you know when it's time for that. Probably
Okay.
maybe like October, because I have to look at when the last one was, because I wanted to wait some time after that.
Yeah.
Because I knew like since you were like newer, I wanted to like let you build up for a little while so that way you can come back and talk about some stuff.
Right.
And maybe bring in some other people that I've just kind of met since then, just to kind of like have some slightly different perspectives in there. But yeah, I do want to get back to that later. But yeah, go on with your thought though.
What was I forgot what I was saying.
You was talking about like there's a lot of people on here, like when you're starting into.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people doing YouTube, and it's kind of hard to figure out what your niche is when everybody's main focus is Jordans. Because I mean, of course, you want to get people's attention, so
Right.
you can start, growing. And the ideal thing to do is to cover the most popular thing. But in this case, the most popular thing can hurt you because everybody's talking about the most popular thing.
Right.
And you always ask yourself, well, can I grow doing, my niche or what I might like, or, what's to do?
Which is significantly easier, honestly. Because like, not to cut you off, but like when you, like for me, right? If you look at the first however many, are you still, if like you look at the first lot of videos that I did,
right?
Most of them, I mean, there was a there's a Concord 11 video in there that probably to this day has like 14 views or something. But again, you're starting off. It doesn't matter. If I released, like if I bought whatever the next Saturday Jordan is, if I bought that, put that review up on Saturday, I'm probably gonna get not a lot of views because
right.
There's still the whole algorithm side to where people aren't looking to me for certain things. So
Right.
I'm not going to stand as high as others. Like if me and a bunch of people all get the same Ultra Boost, I'm showing up ahead of them more than likely, right?
Right.
It just is that
Well,
way.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Like if you do something that's not widely covered, then yeah, that makes a lot of perfect sense because
because there's a thing on YouTube somewhere in like the studio section where you can see what words are driving people to your channel.
yeah,
Like if you look at those, like there you go. That's how you right?
I think the weird thing, what is it? Like I like Air Maxes. And I think I'm gonna start doing like a lot more Air Maxes, like the 91s. I think that's what it is. I can never remember because the 91s and I think the 90s look kind of similar. But I think I'm gonna start doing those a little bit more. The only problem I ever have about like switching up to other shoes is that Jordan Brand is kind of like that little kid. Like if you've got two kids, Jordan Brand is that one kid that pushes the other one out the way and constantly tugs on your clothes. Like, I need that attention. So it's like, I see an Air Max and I'm like, I like that. And then here comes Jordan when you think they're taking a break and they come up with something and it's like, I really like that. So what do I do? Because I know Jordan Brand, when they drop this one, they're going to come out with another one and another one. And it's like, should I get the Air Max first and maybe wait for the Jordan, or get the Jordan first and wait for the Air Max? But
yeah, and again, I mean, a lot of it does just come down to like the personal preference and everything. But I would say, like, if you're trying to just get out there and get your name known, and that's not why I started with the shoes I started with. I just did that because that's what I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
By going out there and putting all these, I did like did I do it? No, I didn't do a frequency pack video, but I did a slight review in my like how to remove scuffs thing. But there's a lot of little shoes that I reviewed that were just your standard Air Max Pluses, maybe a couple 97s here and there, stuff like that. And those I would see later, like we're kind of pulling in some decent views,
Right.
There was also like, because of some of the stuff that I'm drawn to, there have been a number of times where I bought something, and this is why it's good to stick with like the Air Maxes and stuff. I bought something, right? It was like those reflective Safari Air Max 1s. I'll use that as an example. Bought those as soon as they came out because I thought they were really cool. Enough reason for me. Nobody else did. Nobody cared whatsoever. Right? Months go by, and eventually, like, those things started to go on sale. And when Soul Links or Sneaker News or whoever is like, hey, these are on sale, use product code or use like coupon code like 50 off and get them for $20 ship. Like, and people are wanting to know what they're all about. I'm like that one guy out there that did a review on them. So then, like, I'll see videos that I've done like months ago pick up on views months later.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And because like I'll put it up there, weeks go by, it's like 50, 100 views, maybe 150. But later on, like I'll look at it, it's like 1,200.
Dang.
Like what? Like who watched it? Like, was it Derek? It's like Derek got my playlist on repeat.
Because I think like some of my most watched videos are non-Jordan related, and then I mean I don't have a lot of views to really throw out there because I'm just starting out. And I think I have like more followers on IG than I have subscribers on YouTube, which is kind of weird because usually it's the opposite. But I think my most viewed video was about like the Bread 11s, and I never would have expected that. It did over like 100 and something views. That might be or that might even be the second best video, but whatever it is, I was definitely surprised because nowadays I'll just throw a video out there and just let happen whatever happens because I'm only doing it because I enjoy it. You know, it's not necessarily for the views anymore.
Because because there was one video, there it is, like my Flint 13 video. Because like that one, I put it up like early morning on release day because I figured, you know what, this is not going to be seen by anybody because again, there's so many other people with these, so many people talking about them.
Yeah.
So, and that are normally talking about them, that like me over here, you know, who am I? You know, in that conversation anyway. But then like for that day, I feel like all the views I got came like that from that day. You know, that video, the Flints, and in my opinion, a lot of Jordan videos don't have a lot of staying power as far as like people going back to watch them later.
Yeah.
They only matter until release day comes around.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I mean, I got, what was it? That one, 490, which is on the higher end, like for me, for like my Jordan video.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I'll say sometimes in a video, like when I'm making it, it's like, yeah, I'll give some realistic estimates of some things, you know, based on trends. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. But looking through my like little YouTube studio thing, yeah, like I said, most of my Jordan videos do not do well. Like period. Doesn't matter how new it is or what.
Yeah, I think like Jordan videos have become the type of video where if it's not an early release, you're not gonna see huge numbers.
No, and I'm not getting anything early. I think, wow, that's like my most viewed Jordan video is the FIBA 12, which was on foot only.
And that's crazy because nobody really liked the FIBA 12.
Yeah,
they went on sale.
It's like, who watched that? Like, I forget that I even own those because they are such an afterthought.
What's another shoe like that? Those 13s, those
wait,
all white 13s with the red bottom that were supposed to be like Jordan brand exclusives, where they've had like, I don't know if it was in the Jordan store down in Florida. I can't remember what the name of that store was, but they had like every shoe from 1 through I think 18 in that all white and red bottom colorway. I can't remember what they're called, but
well, there was, where was it? In Korea at the Nike store in Gangnam. They have this display of like, I think the first 20 something Jordans.
Yeah.
Minus the 12s because of the whole Japan thing. Derek, I looked up those shoes that you were talking about. I do not approve.
Oh, those are the Super Mario boots.
What?
What are those?
Why? How did you know about? Like, do you have these?
Me personally, I was a huge fan of the Super Mario Brothers movie. With I forgot the guy who played Mario, but the guy who played Luigi,
somebody else, right?
Is John Leguizamo, and that was the only reason I remember these.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie. And Really? I remember John Leguizamo from he was what was the clown in Spawn? Clown,
Yeah,
right? I think
Spawn.
his name
Yeah,
was Clown.
yeah.
But but it hit me as I was saying it. But yeah, the clown in Spawn, or excuse me, clown from Spawn, that was him.
Oh, Violator. Okay, yeah.
And oh, was it about okay? Why was I thinking it was clown then? Was there somebody whose name was Clown? I don't know. No idea. But anyways, like that's what I think of when I think of him, because I can't think of any movies that I've seen. I believe he was in To Wong Fu. Thanks for
Yes, he
everything
was.
with
He
Julie
was in To
Newmar.
Wong Fu.
But I've
Uh,
never seen it. I
he
just know that
started. I think one of like his early movies was The Pest. It was
yes,
a comedy.
I do remember that because somebody gave me that movie because like they were they lived near me and they were like, hey, you want some of my movies? I don't, I'm just trying to like not move with a bunch of stuff. And he like gave me like two or three movies, and I think one of them was that. I think that's how I got the Whole Nine Yards. That was a Bruce Willis movie. And yeah,
No.
so somewhere I got some DVDs. I think it was the Whole Nine Yards.
Super Mario Boys, Thwomp Stomper Boots. I had no idea they had a specific
Yeah.
name. And
Okay.
that
Yeah.
they were even
That's what I'm
actually
thinking of.
named. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know how old this movie is, but as
I
you
think
can
it's like
tell by like
95 or 98.
but just given how the man looks, you can tell that it's old. 2000. Okay, 2000. All right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Super Mario Brothers.
Oh no. I was looking at the Whole Nine Yards because I got sidetracked for a second. But yeah, that boot thing though. I don't know what to make of that. But switching gears
What
just a
shoes
little
from
bit.
a movie comes to mind for y'all?
What shoes from a movie? Uh
I don't think I've ever paid attention to shoes in a movie. I don't.
no. I guess the Concorde 11.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the Space Jam 11. Those are the easy answers. But
right, or like the Space Jam 9. But
I will say, while I'm trying to think of that answer, that does make me think of like the other topic I was going to talk about, which is the whole sneaker battle thing. Because I don't know, like I was wondering before because I was thinking like, do I want to do more of those? Like because they're fun, don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoyed doing that like a lot, and it seemed like the people that were involved, like whether they were in the crowd or on the show or whatever, also seemed to be having a pretty good time, And it gave me a reason to like cut these little one-man promos here in my living room. Which was probably like the best part of it. Like
I liked them, and at some point in time, I've got to get coffee back for those kind of lucky ones that he got on me. But
yeah, and because that was the thing for me. It's like because I mean, the biggest thing, like I said before, was like, okay, who has the heat? Like, that's their thing. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to steal their thunder. Like, I want them to have that and like run with it because that's them. But obviously, that's in some ways you could say like, well, that's like saying like Seth Fowler's doing shoe reviews. Like, shouldn't you not do shoe reviews? Like, it's similar, but it's different depending on how you want to answer it. You know what I mean?
Right. And then I think what adds a twist to what you do is because it's got like a wrestling background to it.
Exactly.
So different styles. So it's like, yeah, everybody's doing like sneaker battles that are the same, but where everybody's is the same and they're basically taken off because of the YouTuber's popularity, yours has a level of differentness to it that hasn't been seen yet. So
Right. And because it's like one thing that I get in from time to time in the comments is people like, yeah, I like how like relaxed your thing is, your channels. Like they watch the lives and like people will say afterwards, like, man, that was cool. It's just like we're just sitting back talking. It's like no weird controversy about anything. No one's mad about whatever. Like we're just hanging out, and eventually it's like, oh, hey, it's about to be 4 hours. The stream's gonna cut off. Gotta go.
Derek with these thumps.
Yeah. So, so it's like for that reason, I'd like to like continue with it, and also to, because like their thing is it's set. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
for from that well not now, but from next Saturday through whatever, it's a tournament. You know what I mean? So there's not going to be new people every week. And so that was the other thing that I liked being able to do was sit down here and say, hey, who wants to jump in this Saturday and do a tag team match? Come on.
right.
Teddy Long's in there. He'll be there. And people will be like, you know, that sounds cool. Or like the last one I did, the gauntlet match. And that thing was ridiculous. Like
That was long, and I let me see. Did I watch the live? Like I was there for the first maybe hour or so, and I had to take off.
yeah.
But I came back the same day, and I watched the entire thing. I think I broke it up into like 2 parts.
Because
But
really,
I
yeah.
watched the entire what I think it was like almost 4 hours.
It was because I mean, sure, like there's always some banter and stuff later, but yeah, it was almost 4, if I remember right. I want to say it's like 350, something like that.
Right, right.
But the thing was like what's crazy is like if you and you, obviously you saw it and like there was no real downtime in there. You know, it was
Right.
like it wasn't like, oh wait, we got a huge glitch, we got to stop for a few minutes. Like no, it was like go, 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 go. All right,
Right.
randomize. All right, round 3 or round 2. Go, 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 go. All right, randomize. Final round. Here we go.
And
And it was
then BX, he killed it. I
yeah,
was,
like
I'm like, that is insane.
that was the thing. It's like when you have that kind of setup, and obviously I see it on wrestling and stuff, but it's like they always say like anything can happen, right?
Right.
There's the possibility, and the reason we did the final round as a first to 6 was because we didn't want someone to just come in fresh and just happen to win everything and like
Right.
out of nowhere real quick. We wanted to at least like have some levels to it, you know, have some rounds.
That was insane how BX, like that last first to 6. I mean, he went through the first 5 rounds nailing it. And then I think like when I thought he was absolutely going to win it, then what you call it comes back like
Yeah,
3
he
or
could
4
like
rounds. I was like, are you
what does he have?
crazy?
Like, where's my notepad? Oh, that. Hold on, because like I have all my notes from all the episodes all scribbled down
Jeez,
here.
that's a lot. That's a lot of notes.
So yeah, it was if you can kind of see that.
Yeah,
So he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 5 straight, and then
right.
dude hit 3 straight, and then, but I mean 3 straight, like you'd have to basically pull 6 straight
Right.
against the guy
That's
who has
like,
just beat everybody.
that's insane for BX because he had 5 straight, and then for what you call it to go 3 straight. That means BX had to have at least like 9 shoes, like 9 or 10
Yeah.
different shoes.
And that's why like the option for that final round was that the person who had come into that round from the previous would be able to reuse shoes, because again, we're looking at this as like a small sort of channel thing, right? Meaning
Right.
I'm not expecting anybody to have a whole bunch of shoes. I mean, I've got a fair amount, yes, but I'm not expecting everyone to just run in there and be like, oh, okay, you want to, I need to switch it up. I need to bring out a different red Air Max. It's like,
Right.
no, like you made it through this far. Like, I'm cool with like doubling up.
And then some of the questions were crazy, like that. Show me a shoe that Batman would wear. I'm like,
That was something else, yeah.
I'm
'Cause
like,
that,
what? But it worked because it put a little pressure on BX to where he had to keep going. Because like I said, I thought it was in the bag until they asked that question. But like formats like that, like formats that you have where it's again wrestling themed, and you know some matches are randomizations.
right.
That is some good stuff.
And that was the
you know,
thing.
man,
I had a couple ideas that I wanted to do, and it's just a matter of like the time to do them. You know what I mean?
right.
'Cause it's like everybody likes to jump in, have some battles, have some fun to it, but you just got to figure out like, okay, because every week after one show would end, it's like, all right, what am I doing next week? You know, it's like South Park. Like they finish one episode and it's like, all right, I got a week to figure this out. And it would come down to the wire sometimes, but you know, pulled it off. What's going on,
What's
AWOL?
going on?
That was good.
You know, just over here talking about shoes, talking about sneaker battles and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm retired, so I don't know anything about no battles.
I was gonna see if anybody had wanted to see any tonight, but you know, just open it up to whoever's in the chat. If they want to jump in or whatever, go a couple rounds or whatever. So I'm not doing much of anything. I am going to be playing a lot of Tony Hawk later, though. I can tell you that.
Me, hey, I'm be playing Madden, so you know.
Exactly. I gotta go get my my Xbox because the disk drive broke on it. But I will be back on Madden tomorrow.
Digital, my guy, digital.
You know what, man? Like I don't know if it's like the old man in me, because sometimes I think I have an internal old man, but it's like I can't do digital because before so many people were losing digital files. I'm just like, man, I don't have time to argue with Microsoft about a digital copy I've paid like $90 for.
Oh, I'm arguing. If I pay $90 for it, I'm arguing. You don't need that.
See, like I'm kind of with you on. I get it, right? Like for a long time, because you know, growing up, you know, you get used to buying like the physical game,
right?
Because like you have a Nintendo 64 or whatever, like that's the only way you're gonna play. You get used to it. So later on, it's like that's still me. And then there'd be the case where like, okay, there's some patch you got to download, but you still got the disc, so you got most of the game.
Right.
But now it's like I get like The Last of Us 2 or something. I put that in, and it's like, hey, we got to download. We got to basically fill up your PlayStation with data
exactly.
so you can play this game. It's like, so is this disc doing anything other than making me get up off the couch so that I can play this? Because if that's the case,
yeah,
I mean, I can start going digital because it's just an inconvenience now. It used to save you time.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm lazy, man. I ain't going to no store to wait no line for them to open up a little drawer or a dress or whatever display. Get that key out, fumble with the key for about 10-15 minutes. I'm good now. I'm walking away now. You lost a customer because you fumbling now. I'm gonna go digital. And I'm gonna keep it at that. You know.
Right, and you can, because like I bought the Tony Hawk like that, and obviously you know already, like when you have a game, you can download it early, and then it'll just be ready to play when whatever a clock rolls around.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I should have been doing this before, you know?
Right, and you know they tried to combat that because when I got Madden, I whatever the most expensive one is that dropped, they released it like 5 or 6 days before the actual release day.
Facts.
And me being me, I forgot that I pre-ordered Madden, and I went to go pick up some Lightning Collection figures, some Hasbro Lightning Collection figures, and because that's another hoarding hobby of mine other than shoes. But I go in and I'm like, let me get my pre-order. You know, I'm here to pay off the rest of my pre-order. And this lady, she stacks up a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is she doing? Like, why is she stacking up all of this crap? And I realized, you know, it was Madden and some other things. And I'm like, when did that come out? And she said, well, it came out actually almost 6 or 7 days ago. And I'm like, oh, crap. Never called me, never said anything, but it was there. So
that's the thing. Those, because like I was talking to Jeezy about that with like, of course, with like wrestling figures and stuff like that. Because some places like they have the street date and then they have like the when they can sell it date. You know, because some people will be strict about it. They'll receive something if like the company tells them don't sell this till next Saturday. They'll keep it in the back till next Saturday.
Right.
Other people, it's like, look, we got this shipment in 2 weeks early. It's on sale 2 weeks early, so we can get these out of here.
Right.
You know, and that's which I think that's seems like what happened with those Galaxy 90s that came out a while ago. Because those were
they did pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I don't know what the original release date was. I just remember seeing one person say, hey, you guys should check your Champs or Foot Locker or whatever, because you might see these. And then all of a sudden, the feed is just flooded.
Yeah, there were a pair of 12s that they did those too. I think like the reverse taxis was another one where they just kind of dropped them on the shelves.
I mean, but it's the same thing as the Barclays. The Barclays don't even have a release date.
Yeah.
And they're selling sporadically all over everywhere. You know, I got a pair, you know what I'm saying? But
that frustrated the hell out of me because those are the ones that I actually wanted. Because I had a pair as a kid and I destroyed them the very same day I got them. And I'm looking for a release date and I don't see one. And I get on Instagram and everybody talking about, oh, I got me a pair of the Barclays, and I look on like StockX and Go, and they sitting on there, and I'm just like, okay, so when exactly was the release date for these?
There is none. I haven't seen none yet.
That's crazy. I need me a pair of those. Too.
I got mine. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because that's the weirdest thing. Like when you're sitting there waiting for the information. And then you see people with them, like, and especially like again when it's like there's stuff popping up in all kinds of different stores. So like, what's going on, Bobby Sneaker World? So like, let's say like he's over there in Ohio, and he's like, hey man, like they got these in every store over here. And then I go to my mall, and it's like, no, we're not selling those till the 13th. It's like, well, Bobby has them. It's like. And they're not trying to hear all that. But I don't know what's next for you, AWOL. What are you picking up next? Or got your eyes on?
Man, I want them biohacks, man, but ain't nobody budging, bro.
That was I remember that release. Well, I remember it coming up. I didn't realize that it had happened already.
It happened today. Like they just came out with to let you know if you won them or not on Foot Locker, Champs, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it comes out tomorrow. The shoe actually comes out tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Because like when I saw people talking about them, because I know like you were talking about them last night, right? I think. But I thought they had like were out. You know what I mean?
I think Foot Action returned my points on those. Foot Locker. They hit me with the sorry. Champ hit me with the sorry. So needless to say, I won't be getting them from there. And I don't even think Finish Line did a raffle. Are they even getting them?
Yeah, they did a in-store raffle, or some stores did in-store, and then some and other stores are doing first come, first serve. So,
Okay,
that
that is nobody.
inconsistency there. That kind of throws people off too.
Right.
Because I know there were times when like I would hear from someone that something was first come, first serve, and I just kind of go with it, and then come to find out that like, oh no, not in Charleston.
Oh well, Kim, if you want to give me a pair of those too, I'll take one.
Yeah, I haven't put in on anything in a while. I got the notice today that the raffle on Finish Line opened for those green 5s.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about that. Like, so right now it seems like it's mostly like if somebody wants me to put in for something for them, sure, but I think I'm kind of good, really.
Yeah, those 5s, I'm good on those 5s.
Yeah,
I'm definitely good in the 5s. Like I got rid of my Michigan 5s. I don't, bro. If they ain't got that M on it, I don't want it. If they ain't got that Oregon Duck on it, I don't want it. Like y'all can keep this.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. We're never gonna get the PEs. That's just something that we're never gonna get. We're never gonna get a general release of the PEs. So it's like I bought those Michigans with that understanding, and I'm like, hey, they're nice. And I don't think I just ever got rid of them. They sitting somewhere. I don't know where they sitting.
Well, the 5s or the 12s?
The 5.
Now, the 12s, I like them because it has the M on it. You know what I'm saying? I like the 12s.
But yeah, I was talking to somebody and they were like, they don't like that fat tag on the back of those 5s. They were like, it would have been better without the tag on the back. So
yeah, that's what it is. Is that tag on the back of it? It's just like put a jump man on that thing or something. Why put that tag on there? It's just
and all that for only $225.
You know, heck no.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I
the
was a
problem.
fool for even buying those 5 with that much, man. I was like, what was I thinking? I got that thing. Like those 5s, I think I got rid of them for free. I was like, yo, you can just have these all. Like, I don't even want them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just take them off my hand. I'm tired of looking at them.
That's kind of how I felt about those Chinese New Year 12s. Where you cut the material off of them.
Oh, you talking about those? I thought you talking about these right here. Well, I'm about to get in your butt, boy. I'm about to say, don't talk about these.
Those I would like to have had.
You know, those I have. Talk about these, boy.
Yeah, and that was what really bothered me about the Chinese New Year 12s with the material on it. You dropped those the year before, and then you dropped those material Chinese New Year 12s the year after.
Yeah,
and charged $250 for them.
Yeah,
and I was like, let me grab them. And then when by the time they actually came in, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, yeah, these are trash. There was no point for these. I got rid of them for under retail, and I was glad to see them go. I was just like, whatever I get is whatever I get.
I mean, I got mine for under retail, and it's like, it's not a pair that I can suggest to people. I'm cool with it, but it's, as far as 12s go, I mean, just, I got to be completely honest. Like, they got it's a cool idea, but they just don't hold that kind of weight for me. You know what I mean? Right. It's like there's other pairs, like, I mean, I look at like the Game Royal 12s. Was it Game Royal? I think that's what they were called, like the black and blue ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I look at those and I'm like, man, now these are nice. You know what I mean? It's simple, nothing crazy going on about it. The price was right. But those, I don't know. And I felt the same way with the Reverse Taxi 12s, which was a terrible name based on what the shoe looked like. But it's not a bad shoe in itself. It's just that the name makes you expect more.
Right, exactly. The Chili Red 7s. I actually like those. I like those 7s. Those are the ones that come out next week, I think, like the middle of next week. I actually like those.
I thought those were
those. I will be doing everything in my power to get those. And that's like one of those shoes where Yeah, they like she said, they are busy, but it's busy in the right way. It's gonna be a shoe that a lot of people are gonna pass on, but maybe like 8 months down the line to a year down the line, people are just gonna be like, "Oh, those are a clean pair. Like I should have picked those up."
Yeah, because I'm looking at them, and I remember, was it when I did a video recently? I was talking about how, I like to pick up 5s and 7s and 12s, and then I'm thinking like, I haven't picked up a 7 in like years.
And that's another part of it, right?
The pure platinum or whatever those white and silver ones, white and gray ones, whatever.
Oh wow, it's like 2017, I think.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
You bought those shoes?
Oh, like I'm
no. Shoes up, bro. You disappointing me right now. You bought that trash shoe, man. That shoe was trash. Can water. You know what I'm saying?
Like, look, it was $111 shipped, and I.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. Well, you didn't say that. Sorry, you said.
Yeah. I didn't get them for retail. No. But because that's the thing. Like, to me, right? 7s. I know not everybody's about those, but I like them. They just don't get a lot of good colors. So I can't think of the last. I did like those Patas, but something about them. There was one detail or something about them I didn't like.
For me, those Patas, it was that huge Pata on the bottom,
right?
But yeah,
but those
they
are
did them in
nice.
2 colorways. They did like almost like
a forest green, clay green type thing, whatever.
Right.
I want those too, but these right here, bro, these are. Look, I guarantee if this says Travis Scott on it, this thing was sold out.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean. And to the defense, that is a really nice shoe. But it was just like at the time for me, it was like that fat Pata written on the bottom that I absolutely hated. And then maybe like weeks went by and I was like, you know what? That shoe is nice enough to where I can get over the fact that they say Pata that big on the side.
Yeah. That's
if I actually want them, I'd probably go back and get them because I've recently been thinking about grabbing a pair of them, but I don't know what the resale is looking like right now.
And I'm not going to sit here and act like there aren't shoes that I own right now that are, and like they're all flawless, like they are all perfect. No, there's a handful of them where you look at them and you're like, man, like kind of wish this was a little different, but I'll deal with it, whatever.
Right.
But,
I think I got do I have a pair? Because I know like whenever sneaker battles come up, like the question of most regretted pairs of shoes comes up and things like that.
I made a whole video about it.
And at this point, I don't think I have any shoes that I regret buying because all the shoes that I regret buying, I got rid of them. Like they were out of the door. As soon as I sat down and asked myself, what was I doing? I tossed them right out the door.
Let's see. Yeah, because I mean, at this point, like, again, it's like I have things, and like even the regrets that I put in that video, it's not like I'm like mad at myself for buying it. Like, man, I spent like $800 on these. Like, why did I do? It was just normal reasons to not like something as much that you didn't even bother looking into before you got it.
Oh, he said the Pata 7s are just a washed out Bordeaux to me. Oh gosh.
Wow.
That's some strong hate.
That is.
Jeez.
Jeez. Okay. I mean, because for me, like the Bordeaux 7 of 2015 was my first 7. So I kind of jumped in at a pretty high bar. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in the grand scheme of things.
My
first
ever 7.
After that, like not seeing any that I really was into, it's like, and even like I have 3 pairs of 7s, and I mean I like the pairs that I have.
Right.
But the Bordeaux is the pair that like I really, really like. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. So again, I started late, and late, I mean really late, 2016, collecting shoes. So I think like the first pair of sevens I ever owned, and I think I've only got like maybe two or three pairs, but the first pair of sevens were probably like my first hyped one as well, the Dornbecker sevens.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot, I totally forgot I have those.
Um,
And we were just talking about those.
right, right. And then and I was pretty excited about that because that's when I started. And that was another thing. I really started learning about like the difference between a GR and a slightly limited shoe and an extremely limited shoe. And I think the next pair of sevens I have are like the Ray Allen PE sevens. And I think that's it. I don't know if I have any other sevens.
Real quick, that is a firm no on anything triple black for me. Period. And as far as also a firm no on those. Yeah. So no's all around. No's all around. Simple questions, simple answers sometimes. Yeah, I don't know, man. Something about triple black shoes, like, don't get me wrong, I do have some all black shoes. I mean, those winterized 12s are all black, right? And what else? Maybe just those. But anyways, I do have some. No, I also have some KD8s that are all black. But yeah, it's just not a thing that I'm into. I saw that later. I was like, I don't like these. I don't regret them. It's just like they're fine, but I don't know, man. I just can't do like the all black. I'm not a big fan of the all white.
The all black shoes remind me of like the non-slip shoes that you see people wearing in fast food restaurants. And then just like an all black shoe is just
No,
I don't know. Like I can easily turn a blind eye to an all black shoe, which is why I didn't go for the Black Cat 4s or whatever those were. Nice shoe, but I didn't touch them because they were all black and they just looked boring. Like I don't know how to explain it.
No, that's how you explain that. Just like you did, very simple and easily for people to understand. Off that NCAA pack, it's like another level to that for me, and this is where I get strangely picky sometimes about things, is that I don't want to wear a shoe made for something that I don't support.
Yes. Yes.
So like I might, even if I liked some of those shoes, which I don't think I do, I wouldn't buy them for that reason. Because it's like, I mean, if they put out like an Iowa shoe or something, like, yeah, Hawkeye shoe, like I'd go buy that, right? Gotta support the team or state, whatever. But all the other stuff, it's like there are color combinations that I do like, right?
Right.
Those foams that I got, the blue and orange ones, you can label those whatever sports team colors you want, right? They match a whole lot of them. But if they put any of those logos on there, I bet you my foam collection will be one pair short right now.
Right. A perfect example of that was, to your point, a perfect example for me was wintertime rolls around and they were doing like a bunch of themed Timberland boots for whatever reason. I don't know. That was a bad choice to begin with.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But they did the NBA team Timberland boots, and the color of the boots were really nice. Don't get me wrong. They were some nice colors. But as soon as I flip the Timberland and I see New York Knicks on the side or Chicago Bulls on the side, I was like, nah, that's okay. Especially for that like $200 price tag. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I remember seeing somebody doing a review of those because that was back before before I started doing this for myself or whatever. I only watched like 2 or 3 people, I think I started like I said, Seth Fowler, It's Teddy, Mike Rich, Thomas the Franchise, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like I saw somebody do a review of those, and I was like, I mean, that's a cool idea. It's like you want to be as supportive as you can when people buy things that you wouldn't buy for yourself. So you know, it's like, okay, that's cool. I'm glad you got those for under retail. You know, right? It's like I can't sit here and say, man, I wish I got those too, because I don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah, those
But
are the
you know, if you
perfect
got that big old boot and you're trying to walk around in New York or wherever you might live, cool.
those were the perfect boots to hand out for free at the games of the represented teams, not to ask somebody to pay $200 for.
Yeah, me and my kicks, apparently he walked away with a pair.
The all NBA. Oh, I know exactly what boots what he's talking about. They were all white with NBA patches of different teams all over them.
Now this is something that I know nothing about.
Oh, the SpongeBob Timberlands that came in kid sizes and men's sizes. There was an all blue pair with SpongeBob going jellyfishing, and then there was, I think, an all yellow pair with his face on the side of them. Why they came in men's sizes, I don't know. They're fine for kids. They're extremely perfect for kids, but why they came in men's sizes and actually grown men bought them is a whole nother question.
Because I think it might have been McFly. Somebody bought like a men's size of like the those Kyrie SpongeBob shoes, one of them anyway.
Oh, and yeah.
Then later he's like, man, like, this is a cool shoe, but I'm not gonna wear this. You know, like
right. Because I think Kyrie did maybe like three to five different shoes. I think he did like a Patrick, a Mr. Krabs, a SpongeBob, a Sandy, and I think that was it. Maybe like 4 or 5 pairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were nice to look at, and maybe if you had the whole lineup of them and you put them in a case, okay, yeah. But to actually just buy one, yeah.
Me and my kicks, he was fully on board, you know.
No regrets.
Not a single one. Good, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't dislike the shoe, but like, it was one of those things where I knew it's like, I'm probably not gonna wear these. There was one pair that I thought looked pretty nice. Like the green pair, I think. Was there a green pair? I don't know. But like, there was one pair that I thought looked pretty all right, but I didn't get it because, you know, I don't get everything that I think looks all right. I got the bills and stuff.
And like the thing about Kyrie's is, again, like you say, Kyrie does a lot of nice shoes, but they're not made for casual wear. They're made specifically for the court. So if I'm not going hooping, there's no point for me to buy them.
And I know we had that conversation in the comments on my regrets video, because again, like that Kyrie 2 that I have, I don't dislike the shoe. I just don't like the size that I needed to get because it looks clownish. You know, I'm over here looking like Violator, which I know his name now, and I'm not trying to have that. But they do look nice though. Like if they were more proportioned or like the shape was somehow different. Like, man, it's one of those things where like, I really want to like that shoe so much.
I'm laughing at me and my kicks because he's talking about if you can wear the reverse Bel Airs that looks kitty, you can rock the SpongeBob Kyrie. That is
okay. I'm going to disagree with that.
Right. That is so different.
Like,
that is completely different.
I mean, I'm not saying this from a stance where I'm defending the Bel Airs, right? Because they are what they are. If people like them, they like them. If they don't, they don't. But comparing just one to another, right? just taking everything else out, putting those two in a little bubble. On the scale of childishness, SpongeBob is made after a children's show. Fact.
Right.
And I feel like is all that needs to be said. What up, Robert Valentine? Are you related at all to Dick Valentine of the Electric Six? That is my question to you. Let's see, and Derek has joined the chat again. Let's see, you're welcome. Yes, because he was the one who pointed out the Spawn trivia, which was very cool.
Robert Valentine says no.
Oh, okay. Man, that's one thing I haven't done in a while. I haven't done that. I got a live coming up on Sunday, sneaker recap thing. At some point, I'll do a trivia thing in there. I'm gonna just make a mental note to do that because it's been a while. It's because I used to do a lot of those, but for some reason because I also had kind of fallen back on my just standard giveaways, but a large part of that was because I was doing all those sneaker battles and I was giving out $25 gift cards every weekend. So that was my giveaway. Now that that's over, that's why I've been, doing a couple through like my normal videos to kind of make up for lost time. But yeah, you need to, do some more of those, throw some questions out there to the people.
What's this about sneaker battles? Did you go over it already?
So to go back to that, the topic was, for one, I was going to open it up and see if anybody wanted to jump in and go a few rounds or whatever. It's a standing offer. The other part of it was talking about the battles that I had been doing on the channel and seeing how people felt about continuing to do those. Because as I talked about with Homegrown Kicks here, had a few reservations about continuing on with it. As entertaining as it was, I was a little bit on the fence, but I think I kind of know what I'm going to do, have some ideas. But yeah, so again, if anybody wants to, throw some questions out there and jump in, I don't have a huge collection. I've got like 30 pairs, maybe.
Wow.
But
only 30.
Oh, dude, I probably put more. I had more than 30 videos in like the past 2 months, probably.
Right. I was gonna say, and then just looking at what is it? That waiting home screen when you do lives of all of your Prestos and Air Maxes and things like. I'm like, that looks like way more than 30 stacked in the corner.
Oh man, I can't type real quick. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know how many I do have because I refuse to count. I refuse to do it, right? Because I don't want to know. Because then I'm gonna be like, right? Have to face the truth of my actions in public. I get 30 houses, dude. Like the slide collection is plentiful, and lately I've been running around in my Infinity Run React Flyknits, whatever those things are called. So because they're running shoes, right? And I've been putting off this performance review for so freaking long. I need to hurry up and do this thing. So I've been wearing those through the apartment, I should say, like the last couple days so I can get them broken in and then go hit the track. Same thing I did with the Pegasus 36 Trails. I wore those around the house for like a week or two, took them to Tennessee, came back, hit some trails yesterday. Not the greatest idea, but I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Better pissed off squirrel, apparently.
And that squirrel, look, let me tell you about this thing, right? So I'm just minding my business, right? Just walking around, and he's like, hey, like, who are you? And I'm like, dude, Like, I mean, I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm bigger than you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not trying to fight this squirrel in the park, but I wouldn't have held back if it came to it. And I think I could take him. I truly do. But I was the
Wow.
bigger man and I walked away. 30 house shoes. But yeah, it's I mean, let's see. Because just going off of some rough numbers, my Air Max Day collection, what was that? 110? Something like that. There's probably a good 20, and these actually counted just the other day. I don't remember the number though. 24 or 20, we'll go 24 Yeezys of assorted-ish flavors. They're mostly 350s though. Let's see, 12s. That's probably in the it's probably in like the 20 range also. So there's that. Let's see, ones. I'd go maybe 10 to 15 sounds fair. Ultra Boosts, probably looking at a good, okay, Boost in general, non-Yeezys, probably looking at a good 30 seems accurate. Let's see, Prestos, what was that, like 10? Hirachis, probably about 10. And what else is over there?
And then that's not including stuff you have in storage, right?
Oh no, I don't have anything in storage really. No. I guess the Jordan 3s through 11s. Oh, that's not a lot. I probably have about as many of that in general as I have of 12s. I'd say that's probably fair. So that's another 20 something. Let's see. No, those are Air Maxes. What is that? The other brands? What's that, like 7?
The chat is charging up this squirrel.
Wait, I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm over here eyeballing shoes and looking out numbers, foam posits. What was that, like 8, 6 or 8? Yeah. Let's see. Money's on the squirrel. Derek, how dare you? Got sized up by a squirrel. Yeah, you saw the video. Well, maybe you didn't, because I know not everybody sees, like when I post like groups of pictures on Instagram,
Right. Yeah.
a lot of people just look at the first one, and I'm guilty of it too, so I get it. But sometimes on purpose, I'll throw some stuff at the end, and people like homegrown kicks will be like, man, this squirrel. Like, hey, it's like the whole like watch the whole video thing. Like,
right.
the whole thing. Or like that trilogy I did on my stories today about where I don't know English. If you saw that was a mess.
I don't think I saw that one, but I did see the one about the jellyfish. Now that one, I think the 3 or 4 different picks that led to the story about the jellyfish is what made me actually go through every single one every time I watch them.
Because I'm telling you, like, if you, and it's not all the time, but like when I'm in the zone or whatever, like if you're looking at the stories and the posts and you're like watching all the stories, sometimes there's some little back and forth in there. Or there'll be like a piece of it over here, and you look at the story and you're like, oh, and then you see like the post and you're like, huh, okay, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
The squirrel got a hold of you.
What do you think about the Nike Air Max Plus 3 Iron Man? Let's see.
I haven't seen those. So
Life of a Broski, who I did a double unboxing with him a couple months ago. He has a pair of those. I wouldn't buy them because it's too much red for me, but I think they look pretty decent.
Can you pull up an image of them? I've never seen them, so I don't know.
Why, yes, I can. I have the internet now, so let me get on here and see what I can do.
Iron Man 3 Air Max Plus.
Yes, because the Air Max.
I can only imagine what those look like.
Because the Air Max Plus 3, that was another one of those videos that I did where, so I happened, oh man, I didn't even know he was back here. My bad, dude.
No,
I didn't even know. So when I got the Air Max Plus 3, right, I got it because I like Air Max Pluses. And I figured, hey, it's the 3. It's got to be 3 times as good. Not really. I just like Air Max Pluses, so I bought it. But that was during my Korea time, right? So I was able, since I was 12
Oh wow.
of Eastern time, I got the shoe that morning, knocked out the review, and when I put mine online, everybody was waking up and could see it, right? And so that thing just blew up out of proportion for a small channel. So a lot of people were all about it. There was a good handful of people that hated me because I wore a Bad Religion shirt. If you don't like Bad Religion, we are not friends. It's that simple. But anyways, so I'm all aboard with the Air Max Plus 3. This particular one, people can see it now. Let me just scroll down a little bit or something.
Iron Man 3 Air Max Plus. This must have been a representation of Iron Man after he died. This is an ugly shoe. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah, it's not the best colorway in this model. Definitely not.
Yeah. I don't, because that's what I was thinking. I don't know if the model is killing the colorway or if the colorway is killing the model.
Yeah, it was a bit much of the red for me, and that's why I can't do it. But
Gee,
if it was like a different color palette to it,
yeah.
if it was, I would say for me, right, in this layout, if it was like black and purple, because I like that combination, I could get behind that. Because I don't have a lot of those. That's one colorway that I do kind of like, but rarely buy. I think the last black and purple shoe that I got was possibly the Eulogies, like the Kobe 11s. And that was a while ago, whenever the Master 12s came out, because they came out the same day.
This shoe is, I'm hearing you, but this shoe is really hurting me right now.
Is the shoe too loud for you to hear me?
Oh,
No, with the model silhouette with this colorway is pretty trash. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like it's just because everybody love all red. Like 3 or 4 years
Right.
ago, you can make all red anything, and they used to buy it. Just
right.
Yeah,
This shoe is painful to look at. And
it's gone now.
And again, I was trying to figure out like why.
Yeah, but that's there you go. That's what people think of that shoe. Let's see, because I was looking in the chat. Let's see. You won't be speaking English if that squirrel got a hold. I'm telling you, like, again, for anybody who hasn't seen it, my last 3, well, I don't know if it's my last 3 because I posted something about Tony Hawk a little while ago, but those 3 comment section stories I posted today, it's a little trilogy. You got to read all 3 and it all comes together at the very end, kind of, sort of. But man, that dude, he was not okay with me not understanding his question. Not at all. But it's the internet. I get my share of people not liking me.
You mean that one guy that was asking about the fit of, what was it, the Yeezys or something like that?
No, this was about, what was this about? Slides. The Adidas Cloud Foam shower slides is what this was about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, that's the review that, like, I remember, like, that was one of those unboxing. That should have been in my regrets lineup, honestly. Because, like, I got this shoe, the slide, thinking it was something else. Because as me and my kicks knows, Adidas is a little weird when it comes to their naming of their slides. So, like, last year, if you had bought something that just said Adelaide Cloud Foam, you'd walk away with something that I don't happen to have right here next to me. But this year, if you go and you look that up, you see more results. And like they pile them all in together as just one big old pool of shoes or slides. And depending on which one you happen to click on, you might get something you don't want. So I bought the one that I thought looked kind of nice, like this navy blue and white. And I got a shower slide, which is not what I want. I wanted something comfortable, a little cushion to it. Those are more like that hard plastic.
oh yeah, you talking about with the little like with the little like long things that stick up and
They didn't have that, but I know what you're talking about. Those
yeah.
They may as well have had it though.
Yeah, those trash. I remember when those came. I mean, I remember when people used to rock those. They was like, these are so comfy. I'm like, with those little long things pricking up. You know, they was like, yeah, I like these. These comfortable. I'm like, no, man, y'all tripping.
Nah, yeah, because I think my Jordan Hydros, because I have 3 pairs of those. I have a couple pairs of because I have the Flu Games and those Grape 5s and the Wolf Grey 12s in slide form, because again, the 12.
Yeah. And you're a slide guy.
But and it's like, yeah, so that was like the best of both worlds, man. It's like later when they did like the boost slides, and I was like, what? Now they got boost on the slide? But yeah, it's not my favorite thing, but I wear them. Well, I haven't worn them lately, but I have them.
Yeah, I don't know how people do Jordan slides. For that very reason, where they have like the little individual things sticking up at the bottom, like that doesn't look comfortable to me at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure why some people are drawn to that. I didn't know anything at the time. This was still when I was getting into shoes. I didn't have these high standards that I have nowadays. Infinity War Iron Man suit. But yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I have, and I saw it when I was looking through my Air Maxes. It's like, for some reason earlier today, trying to pull out shoes for a review. But there's a fair amount of things that I have that like I don't dislike. I'm cool with having bought them, but at this point, it's like, if my brother didn't live in a weird part of Colorado where I could only send him mail through UPS, he'd probably be getting a lot more of these things. That's for sure. That is for sure. Because there's stuff I look at, I'm like, man, like, I might get rid of these. But it's cool, I mean, he wants shoes, and he told me a while ago, it's like, man, like, I need to get more shoes and stuff. And like, if you have any that you just don't even want, like, I don't care how they are, like, I'll take them. I know you have nice shoes, so I'm like, well, thank you for your the confidence you have in my selection. And I'll have to send them some, because I did send them those Blue Chill Element 87s, because I bought them mostly for a review. And what is it? There's something else that I'm gonna send his way too. Can't think of what it was. Probably one of those pairs of New Balances, because I don't need both of them. But I don't know. And maybe those. I have some leather. What are those things?
Three shoes. Okay.
No. Trust me. There's a number of them. Like, he's getting those camo 90s that came out a little while ago. He's probably.
I remember you talked about that in the review.
Yeah, he's probably getting those triple white Ultra Boosts for pre-said reasons. If I can, hopefully I can find somebody to trade this pair of Zions for a pair of either Sulfurs or Marshes. Either one is fine with me. If not, he could end up with those. There's a couple Air Maxes that I'm cool with them, but I probably won't wear them anymore. What are those things called? Those 5923s? I have a cream pair that's like leather. It's like, I don't even know why I have those.
You just be banning shoes. Shoes.
So yeah, like last time, like Mom was here, and I was like, hey Mom, can you take these back with you? Send them to Jared. And she's like, all right, Tristan. I'm like, cool. Let her do that. Maybe next time she sends him some cookies or whatever she does. But yeah, I guess the other thing is I could just stop buying as many, but
it could be a suggestion, but
just throwing it out there.
Just getting that money, man.
It's an option, but at the same time, like, given how little I get to wear everything, like, there are certain things that if I needed to get some money out of them, I could.
Well, if I say every time somebody be like, "Oh man, you should give me like 1 or 2 shoes," I give them the same look that Ike did Tina in that movie. What are you talking to?
Like what? No, like it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't know. I'd rather resell these and get my money back. I don't just give them
Yeah,
Right.
at least something. You know what I mean? Like I know not everything is gonna get me like the actual what I paid for it, but you know, it's
And I don't know if that's one of those things where you can even say, "Catch me on a good day," and I might throw you a pair. But
yeah, that's like even that's a stretch.
Oh, but it's this one friend I got. He'd be like just buying shoes, and like sometimes he'll like give them away. And I'd be like, man, bro, why don't I be here when you on the giving away, the giving away vibes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I come over here every other day. You don't give me away nothing. You trying to sell me some shoes, but other people just get the shoes for free. But
Yeah, I get that in comments sometimes. People are like, "Oh, you should do a giveaway for a pair of shoes," and I'm like, "Yeah, so should you."
Right.
It's like, who is this guy?
That's
Not
one of
having
the
a picture
hardest
next to
things
your
to
name.
do.
All you have is an A because your name starts with A. What?
I can when I see people doing giveaways for shoes, I can only imagine that's got to be the hardest thing to do, because when people ask for shoe giveaways, they're asking for you to get their specific size. And if you don't know what their specific size is, and it's a popular shoe, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, you're gonna be paying resale for that shoe.
Yeah.
And and there's no telling how much that resale is.
Yeah.
no.
Like, and then if I go to, I could go to Champs right now, find a pair of shoes for like $60 or something. But hey, giveaway. You know what I mean? Like Air Max 200. Check it out. It's like, nah, I'm good. It's like, oh, so you want something free, but now you want to be picky about it?
Give away a pair of the Air Max Iron Man 3s. That'll work.
Like, yeah, and watch somebody send them right back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I stick to like the gift cards for mine. There was a while when I was doing like the Chick-fil-A gift cards, but like I could only get them at least at the time like in the store, and like then they stopped letting people go in the store. But I think I can get those from like Walmart now or something like that.
Yeah, you probably get them. You probably get them online.
Yeah,
because the thing was like, because there's some places like when I do like the Nike giveaways, I can just send people the code, or if they want, I can email them the actual barcode if they want to use it in store, So it's cool. But like when I went to like the Chick-fil-A site, they were like, you can get gift cards that are at any Chick-fil-A restaurant. I'm like, I'm not trying to go to a Chick-fil-A restaurant right now. Chick-fil-A Sunday.
They're trying to make sure you don't leave on an empty stomach.
Yeah, it's like, look, just be like everybody else and let me buy stuff from you right here. Amazon does it. Everybody else.
Now, looking at the thumbnail for the live, that John Cena pop.
Oh yeah, this guy's right over here. Damn, John Cena. Can you see him?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna overlook how you, whatever.
Where did you get that pop?
I got them from Amazon. Does it? Right? Yeah, because there was, I don't know. Sometimes they say like exclusive from wherever, but maybe this wasn't one of. What is that baseball thing on there? I don't know what this has to do with baseball. Honestly, I don't care either because, personal opinion, and I don't want any response from this. Baseball is a terrible sport. So I bought the John Cena pop pretty much sure that I got it from Amazon a while ago, like the whole Thugonomics thing, because I saw that one coming up and I was like, this is making it into the collection. Even though, as I keep saying, I'm not a big pop guy, but I keep getting them.
Yes, I see it right here. $8.79 with Amazon Prime. Doctor of Thugonomics.
Yeah, man. Who else was in that wave? Oh, they had Naomi in that one. It's funny because like I've never I've never seen this one in person. I mean, in store, but I've seen all of those other ones in stores, mostly in Target. I see Diesel and Mean Gene all the time.
Oh, they've got a clear, you can't see me, Amazon exclusive.
That's the one that I was thinking of. I do have that one also. It's like, I see,
Wow.
I'm not even like a huge John Cena fan. I respect what the guy does and all that, but that invisible one, that was part of my background for a lot of my videos last year. Because sometimes I'd shoot things in like this little room where I had my computer, and I just had some like a Shawn Michaels poster, Undertaker poster. That CM Punk one was in there too, and John Cena.
And those are averaging $50.
The you can't see me?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That is crazy. That is insane.
But there is, as Jeezy and Derek and I were talking about Sunday, there's some good money to be had if you go and peruse your Target and Walmart shelves. There's some stuff out there, like in the toy aisle, that'll get you some decent money. I mean, you go find you a Brandy Rose figure right now, somebody might give you a kidney.
You know what? Every time I run into a Target, I catch myself looking at wrestling figures. Mainly in part because of the wrestling figure videos that you do. And I'm like, let me see if I can find a figure that shoes up, sleeves down might actually want, and and send them a picture. But then I started looking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want half of this crap in here. So
you never know though. And like somebody just asked a question in the chat. I'm waiting for it to pop up in StreamYard because I need some attention. Is that not a thing anymore?
No, I don't think they make waffle crisp anymore.
waffle crisp.
Huh.
What is waffle crisp?
Because like now I was never like a waffle crisp guy, but I'm a cereal guy like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, for real?
So it caught my attention. I don't think I talk about that much in any of my videos, but there's a fair amount of cereal eating that goes on around here.
I don't think I remember what waffle crisps were. I'm a huge, I guess I would say I'm a cereal guy. Now, I won't eat too many different varieties of cereal, but I've had my fair amount.
Yeah, I don't.
What's the last new cereal that you ate? Newest cereal.
I don't know. When I get onto a cereal, for whatever reason, I will stick with waffle crisp. Okay, I remember those. That was like the cereal where they had the commercial with a little boy. He would turn into a fuzz ball or something.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but
I don't like maybe that might have been the other cereal. I don't know. Like
the other cereal, right?
I know, right? Like,
like, where did you grow up that there were two cereals only? I have a box of, what is that? Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes. It's two cereals in the same box.
They did that with Frosted Flakes and Lucky Charms.
Yeah, it did get a little bit too freaky with the mashups. I'm like, you know what? I'm not good, man. Like,
But that is, I can see that. Like when stuff goes away, that's when people want it. And then if you happen to have it and the shelf life is good, I mean, but then you got to make sure you get it and you eat it before it goes bad or whatever. Because like me, was it yesterday? I ate half a box of Girl Scout cookies because it said like they were best by like September 1st. I was like, well, September 1st, we're doing this. It's like, bam, let's cookie after cookie, man.
Oh, so you had something like last year or something like that?
No, they were just from a couple months ago.
Okay.
But I was like, well, if they're best by the 1st, I want them at their best. So, yeah.
It's some Girl Scout cookies that they only sell in certain regions. I remember I'm in this sneaker group and they was talking about it. So when I was in Ohio for Cleveland SneakerCon, I went to the mall and these girls selling it, so I bought it and I ate it. I'm like, yeah, I know what they talking about. This shit good as hell. Like I'm like, I'll bang that box. I'm like, man, bro, and because I could never find it in Chicago. Every time I mention in Chicago, they be like, oh yeah, we don't sell in this region. You got to go to Wisconsin. I'm like, I gotta go to Wisconsin with some damn cookies. Like, come on, man.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I know, because with the Girl Scout cookies, there's two brands. There's like the ABC Bakers, and then there's the other one. I can't remember which is which. But so that's where like the ingredients change a little bit. So like the shortbreads and the trefoils, they have different names because they're different cookies. Technically, realistically, it's all the same to me. And then there's other things that some regions just don't have. And the split of where these Girl Scout cookies are sold, it's not like this half the Mississippi and that half the Mississippi. No, it's like you might live in Hampton, Virginia, and like you have access to these, but the people over in like Richmond, Virginia have something completely different. But then South Carolina will have what you have. So it's like there's no real rhyme or reason to me. But you know, obviously I'm not a Girl Scout. I don't have that inner workings of how this whole thing goes. I just know that I have to call on certain people when I want certain cookies. So my mom lives in one section, my mom lives in a different one, so I'm covered, right? I mean, obviously I live in one too, so I can go buy my own. But if somebody calls you and is like, hey, let me know which cookies you want, are you going to go buy them for yourself, or are you going to tell them and let them send them to you for free? Right? Yeah, so I do that.
Because I felt crazy about the cereal commercial. I went down a rabbit hole of searching for that commercial I was talking about, and it's for honeycomb. It's the honeycomb commercial where the boy turns into a ball of hair and eyes and a nose, and he's running around talking about honeycomb cereal.
Oh yeah, because the mascot for honeycomb cereal is like that little thing, right? Wasn't it? It was like the little like rat boy thing or whatever. So I
guess so.
I didn't know they had one. Like, I don't know, because there's some cereals like they come and go and like you kind of remember them when like the name pops up, but when you start asking for the details, like like when I was trying to think of the names of the two cereals, because you have like Honey Smacks and then there's like Sugar something, like one with like the bear.
Yeah.
You know,
the bear was the Golden Crisp or something like that.
Yeah,
and then the frog was the Sugar Smacks.
Yeah, so it's just like little stuff like that. And then sometimes I'll go to the store and I can't find the one cereal that I want in that moment. It's like, who's buying all the Crispix? Right? Like, who? Like, they're usually up there on the top shelf, you know. Usually, like, they're not sold out, so I can get one of the front ones. Because if it's like one of those back ones, then it's like, I gotta, you know, I'm not a tall dude, so I gotta do some things to get it. And it's like, sometimes I go there and they just don't have any. I'm like, man.
So the thing I learned about that is avoid the 1st and the 15th, and you'll be good.
I don't even think about that. It's one of those things where, you know how sometimes you have like, you might just have a craving for something, or you saw some reminder and now it's in your head that like, man, I really do need some Honey Crunch cornflakes right now. Or man, like, yeah, I do want some Trix, don't I? Yeah, I do. Yeah, let's go deal with that. And then you get there and it's like, wait a second, like, where are they? Or then they'll switch it up. I bought a box of Frosted Flakes once, got home, and realized that it had marshmallows in it.
Oh wow!
Like, who wanted this? Like, I don't eat marshmallows. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, should I just take it to work and give it away or something? That's gonna be suspicious.
No, you should have ate them.
No,
that's what you should do.
Nope.
And do like they used to do back in the day. Just pick the marshmallows out.
Nah, I've never been one to pick anything out of cereal. Like, I don't have that kind of time. Oh, okay, realistically, I totally have that kind of time. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I'm not about to use it for that. Picking some marshmallows out of some Frosted Flakes. They shouldn't even be in there in the first place.
I was about to say, speaking of cereal, one thing that disappointed me is when Rice Krispie, they used to sell this cereal called Rice Krispie Treats.
Oh
cereal. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
And they recently changed up the formula. So basically, they just give you regular Rice Krispies and they just throw a little bit of like regular marshmallows in there.
Oh, that's horrible.
I was like, because it said new formula or new taste, and I'm like, oh, okay, they just did something, and I poured it out, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to our cereal, man? Like, cause that, bro, like, I mean, you don't understand, cause like only Walmart sold that cereal, and well, in Chicago we didn't really have that many Walmarts, and plus I was poor, so we was only going to like Aldi's. So I remember I would like get some like throughout my childhood and the different moments. So when we came back for college, and we had went to our local Walmart, and I was like, oh my God, they got it. Let me get 3 or 4 of them. I was like, they got them. I was throwing boxes and boxes in there. They was like, that's all the cereal you want? Yes, this is all the cereal that I want. Yes.
But to back him up on that, when that Rice Krispie Treat cereal came out, it was amazing. It was it was one of the best things ever.
Right.
And then later, I didn't see it for a while, and because sometimes things just kind of like fade away, or like with certain other things, they just kind of get renamed and they throw some nuts in there, and now it's like a slightly different cereal or something. But like it seemed like for a while the Rice Krispie Treats just were gone, and then I saw them come back later, but maybe that's when they had that new formula thing, because when I see new formula and new taste or like better taste or whatever,
leave it alone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't always expect people to make things worse. Sometimes things will get better, but sometimes you just want it the way it was,
Yeah.
Like with what's it? What's that? It's a chocolate bar with like the almonds in it. The Hershey's one.
Hershey's, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
When they were like, hey, now we have whole almonds. I'm like, you had the right time before, and I haven't bought any since.
Well, I'm about to say, Patrick, yeah, the Nesquik cereal that used to be banging. I remember that. I wish they'd bring that back. And Oreo O's definitely be banging. I'm glad they brought that back. I remember they had some golden Oreo O's, and those wasn't the same. I was like, those are trash. But the regular Oreos,
I mean, like, so I'm one of those people that I don't eat Oreos, like cereal or a cookie. I can't do it. I had one when I was younger. I was like, this is garbage. Get this away from me. And still to this day, I don't know, man. I just can't do Oreos. It's just one of those, like, when it comes to cookies, obviously like chocolate chip, depends on which ones, but I'm fine with most of them, honestly. Iced oatmeal cookies, those are pretty good too. Yeah. Like as far as store-bought and iced animal cookies, all about some of those.
Iced animal.
Oh yeah, iced animals was pretty nice.
But like with the icing,
yeah,
that's one of my go-tos. I mean,
one of those things I hate is iced Pop-Tarts. Like I like the regular strawberry Pop-Tarts.
Like with no frosting on them.
Yeah,
that's what I eat. I mean, I haven't bought any in a while, but yeah, I don't.
They make Pop-Tarts with no frosting?
Yeah.
Like
that's how they originally came, with no frosting.
They're only with strawberry. Like it's the only one I've seen. Vlogging with Dimitri.
What's good, everybody?
Man.
What's going on?
He must really want to talk about these Oreos.
Nah, man. I'm just gonna pop my head in and speak.
Okay. You using your truck Wi-Fi, bro? That's what you're asking.
Say it again.
You using your truck Wi-Fi? That's
man.
why you
I'm in a messed up. I'm in a messed up area, man. I'm in Florida, man. They got me in the swamps.
Do you need help?
Call AAA.
Nah,
like, I don't have 911 access right now. I'm on YouTube, and I'm hoping somebody comes through.
Imagine wanting to hop in this seat, man, before I lay down for the night.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming through and get that truck money, man. You over there getting all that money, bro.
Man, I'm trying. Definitely trying.
That's what it's all about, though. Just putting in the effort.
But man, I think, man, one of those cereals that I wish they never got rid of and then never brought back was Berry Berry Kicks. That was one of those cereals that as a kid, I loved Berry Berry Kicks, and then they got rid of them for like a good 10 years and just went with the regular plain Kicks.
Yeah, I remember
and then, for whatever reason, they brought them back, but they didn't bring them back like the berry shapes. They brought them back some other kind of way, and they tasted like trash.
Were they like just like the balls? I think like Tricks used to be or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that because my grandparents, because I remember I used to stay with them a lot. Because like during the summer when my mom would be at work, I'd be at their house, right? Which I think is a common thing for some people anyway. But we would, get some cereal or whatever, lots of time from Aldi, because that's where we shopped a lot of the time as well. And Kix was a common one. I did not like it because I remember having to add a whole lot of sugar to it. And looking back at it, it's like I would like eat the cereal, and then at the bottom it'd just be like
globs of
sugar.
Yeah. That was how it was with me and Rice Krispies.
It's like soot, Yeah. Which is a word I don't use often, but this is the time. So yeah, that was
Psychopaths in this. No frosted Pop-Tarts. Yeah, no frosted Pop-Tarts. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's oh man, because I remember having some like back in the old days and stuff like that, and I think there was a s'mores Pop-Tart that wasn't bad.
Yeah, I remember that.
Probably, I'm not gonna remember that.
What's that?
I could remember something like that. They got Pop-Tart cereal now. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Never thought to try it, but I've seen it.
What was it? Yeah, Demetrius was talking about some of those crazy cereals they have.
Yeah, Sour Patch.
Yeah, they're going crazy now. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I guess the price of cereal is cheap or something. Because like back in the day, we ain't never had these options. Like
no, like they're nowhere near that. It's like, what are you trying to do here? You
get like 5 to 10 different choices if you lucky, and then after that, it was nothing.
Because even still, like when I'm usually when I'm going out and buying cereal, I'll get something healthy. I do like my Kashis and stuff like that, some Honey Nut Cheerios or whatever, and then I'll get some other stuff, some stuff that tastes good.
You're right.
Stuff that's like isn't necessarily like the greatest thing to eat, but you want it. But like, so I'll have like my 5 to 7 at the most probably that I cycle through, like Frosted Flakes is in there, Fruit Loops sometimes. What's that one you're talking about? Honeycomb, Corn Pops, and then, the Crispix, the Kashi, Cinnamon Harvest or Autumn Wheat, and Honey Nut Cheerios, right? So I guess 8. So, I just kind of, whichever one that I can remember having, I don't get. The one that looks like it's a little unfamiliar, I get that one. Just to kind of keep the rotation going. Give it a little more thought than I should when I'm shopping.
Right. Go to cereal for me. Right now is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Before it was Apple Jacks.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty all right one too.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Apple Jacks outside of a situation where it was like free, like wherever, like places you can get those little like cups of it.
Oh yeah.
Like the cafeteria somewhere, and they're like, "Hey, you can grab a thing of cereal or something. We'll snack on." I'm like, all right, cool.
Apparently, they got a caramel Apple Jacks. I haven't seen that, but
whoa,
it's this guy on YouTube. Sometimes like I watch his cereal reviews, but he reviews everything. But like that's how I found him. He was like reviewing some cereals, and I was just like, let me check him out. His name is C Snacks, but yeah.
Yeah, like so caramel apples, right? That's one of those things that I don't care for, and it's partially because like when I was younger, we were making some, like me, my mom, we're just kind of making caramel apples, She's got this crazy hot caramel to put on these apples or whatever, and somehow drops like a bunch of it like on my hand, and it hurt like a lot, especially for like when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, lower single digit ages, and you don't have that high pain tolerance as an adult man. So I was not okay for a while, and I mean, obviously I got over, you know what I mean? Because like the pain goes away, scars go away, whatever, your hand gets back to normal. But every time I pass like caramel apples or anything like that, like, hey mom, remember that time you tried to burn my hand off? That is not how it happened. I'm like, I was there, mom. To this day, won't let it go. A reminder every single time. So, but I also don't eat caramel apples because they still have that association with them. So, yeah, little unnecessary stories. Usually the kind of thing that'll somehow pop up in a review, but there you go. Believe me, like I tell you, like the next video that I put out, bear with me. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Scoop 208 is doing cereal reviews too.
Oh yeah, he would do everything. He do ASMR. He do everything, bro. He do everything.
I get it. Hey.
Derek hasn't had cereal since the early 2000s.
What? Now that's psychopath stuff right there.
Yeah, that's not okay. You need to get that checked out. It's like there's a friend of mine. He told me that he doesn't eat because he doesn't do milk,
Right.
So, but he eats cereal and he just uses water.
That's
like
no.
You put some oatmeal on that player.
Okay, yeah, like some instant oatmeal, you mix some water. Yeah, sure, whatever. Malto meal also. I don't know if anybody else eats that, but like that was huge in my household. But cereal with water is like an abomination in my mind.
That's one of those dumb things you do as a kid. Because you hear poor stories. You always hear a comedian say, I was so poor, I had to eat my cereal with water. And you just, as a kid, you wonder, well, I wonder what my Frosted Flakes would taste like with water. And then you actually do it for some odd reason. And you realize that you would rather pour your cereal in a bag and scoop it out with your hand than eat it with water. So,
wow. On the subject of weird things that people used to do as children. So at the time, I was pretty big into Twizzlers. I was also big into milk. And so I used to bite the tips off the Twizzlers and drink the milk with like a straw.
Yeah.
And it was like, now here's the thing. Here's the other part of this. This milk that I'd be drinking, I might have a cup of it, drink like half, run around, play outside for a while, come back, finish the cup after it was just been sitting on the counter, like just some room temperature milk. I'm sitting there with my little Twizzler straw, like, man, this is all right. I don't know what was going on in my head, but
and then I think like a couple of years later, I think that trend actually caught on, and they started doing like edible straws that were geared towards like putting it in your cereal and drinking it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that later, but at the time, I was just like, yeah, this is hollow. I can use this as a straw.
What's funny is I think that we got like way more selections of foods and stuff like that, because back in the day, we used to ask for that type of stuff, and we'd be like, and our parents would be like, no, you can't get that. It's too much sugar, blah blah blah. Like they were like, what make us watch what we eat? But now, kids, they'd be like, all right, just throw it in the cart. Like they parents feed their kids anything, so they like, oh, we can just give them anything now, and they'll just allow it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
bet you.
like you don't just grab it because you know it'll shut them up while they're
Yeah.
in the cart.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to be paying for it later when they eat that bowl of cereal, which is really just a bowl of sugar, and then they're bouncing off the walls. But
Yeah. At 11 o'clock at night and
Yeah.
on the school night. Yeah.
because you can't do it and then send them to school because a lot of people aren't going to school right now, so they're just at home just bothering you.
Facts.
But whatever. But anyways, I'm not going to be on here too long. I didn't expect to. Thought I'd probably be on here for a little bit, maybe half an hour at the most. And I should have known because my lives they have a track record for going a little long.
Yes.
I'm surprised me and my kicks hadn't pulled out the wrap it up thing.
I was about to say, man. I mean, well, you know, this is live, so you know.
But because I mean, and at this point, like, because I know I got on here to talk about the those grade school. What are these things called? I can remember Indigos, so I can get those sent back. Do a little quick comparison, and I was gonna do that, but I was like, and then we got to talking about stuff. So, and then we were on like the sneaker battle thing for a while, because trying to figure out like, you know, what to do about that and stuff, because you know it's good to have a little.
It's just like an episode of King of the Hill.
Let's see. Yeah.
Bobby.
And you know what? It's comments like that I appreciate, because it's like we get on here and you just let the conversation shift. Because I know I did one live like a while ago that started off with me and like Alias talking about fives, and like then he was out, but like Trash for Treasure came in, or it used to be Soul Salvation Customs, I think. He came in, we talked for a while. Next thing you know, like Jeezy and 313 were in there. At some point, somehow there was like 4 or 5 people in the panel with me talking about like their favorite chicken places around the United States. Like, and there was some deep conversations like going on in the chat too. Like look, Raising Cane's compared to no. It's like, man.
What's up, little boy? What's going on?
What up?
I thought you was being disrespectful. What's up, little boy? Like what? Whoa, what the?
Does anyone know dropping the 90 infrareds? The last thing I heard was around this time this year, and that was earlier this year. So I don't think anybody knows for sure, but I had heard October from people who probably have nothing to do with anything related to the actual shoe.
What you mean? Like the OG infrareds?
Yeah, because you know how they were doing like kind of bringing back a few original colors in the early part of the year?
Yeah.
They were going to do, the rumor was that they were going to do that with the infrareds around October.
Okay. Well, I'm about to say, in one of my sneaker groups, apparently, you know, those MX90s that they did with like that, you know, with that revamp upper. If you go to your local Champs or whatever, apparently in the store they're selling for $45. Like, so if you can find a pair in store, you can get it for $45. Like the white and pink ones, somebody was like, they were just posting a receipt of it. They was like, yeah, go to your local Champs and see if they still got them, because if you get them in store, they're ringing up for $45. So like if you can find a pair for $45, but it's not in your size, then obviously you can go online and they'll price match it, so you can get it. But you need to find them in the store for $45, so then you can get the deal.
Got you. So, and sometimes, like, because I know I've been to Foot Locker to buy a pair of shoes or like ask about a pair of shoes, and if they don't have my size, they'll order it for me, send it to me, or I can pick it up in the store.
Yeah.
And they'll give me that same price. So that might also be an option depending on your store.
Yeah, I'm probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. Check out a couple stores, see if they got them, because I grab them for $45. I was waiting for the right price, and if I can get them for $45, I'll get them.
Or Kyrie 7s, okay.
But Kyrie 7s, I don't like those. Like for some reason they messed up on those, man. Like they all kind of looking the same. But
let's see, favorite Air Max 1.
I go with the white and blue anniversaries.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was thinking about like different types, honestly, but because I was about to say like I do like those Flyknits, those ultra Flyknits they did a couple of years ago. But as far as colorways go that I own, I'm not really sure. Honestly, I do like
I
that
don't know.
Windbreaker one. It also had another name, Game Changer. It's kind of like a '90s vibe, kind of like those Flight Nostalgia 9s, but an Air Max One.
I don't know why with these Air Max ones they've been like limiting them. Like you seen they dropped the white and orange ones, the white and green ones, the Air Max
Yeah.
ones, and I'm like, why can't you just make them plentiful? Like why does everything have to be a sneakers grab? Like this is ridiculous,
Right.
bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, I thought those were going to be. I expected those to be just your standard Air Max, like, but it seemed like those were harder to get than certain other things that should should have just been left alone. I don't know. Don't let me down. Man, like he's got the best intro.
appreciate you, man. I mean, I'm Kyrie Sevens. I wasn't feeling them, G, but but with them triple black Barclays though, those are cold. I might not get them because I don't really need another all black shoe, and I'm getting those all black Ultra Boost 1.0s because they're gonna go on sale. But yeah, but those CB all triple blacks, them decent right there.
But yeah, overall favorite sneaker in general.
I gotta go. Bron Sevens. Oh, we talking about runners? Yeah, Bron
Well,
Sevens.
I mean, if we're talking, I don't know, because like my overall favorite, it's as far as like just a standard go-to, it might be like something like a VaporMax, the 3, or maybe an Ultra Boost 19 for the versatility of those pairs. But like the 12s also carry a lot of weight for me too. But it's kind of hard to say.
Favorite shoe in general. I don't know. Like for the last couple of years, the shoe that I've worn the most are like the Van Highs.
Like the skate highs or something.
Yeah. What is it? I don't know if these are like mids or highs, but I like a solid color, and then I like them in Van.
Okay, so those
for
are
whatever reason they're comfortable. I can put them with anything, and I can beat them to death.
All them Jordans you got in your collection, you better not be just wearing no damn Vans, all black Vans randomly, bro. Like
this is the shoe that I wear every single time I step out the house. Is all black Vans. As a matter of fact,
you be camping in Vans, getting $190 Jordans. That's crazy.
I mean, I kind of feel the same way though.
I got these as a gift one year, and they were the Vans off the wall, and I didn't know they were a limited pair of Vans, and I beat them to death. They're tearing at the sides and stuff like that. And when I beat them to death, I was like, I really like the black Vans, so I had to get these pairs. Like, these are cloth, and the other ones, I don't know what.
See, like, I only have one pair of truly beat down shoes, and that's because I got them when I was in like 11th grade, I want to say. And then I wore them until, let's see. Oh, man. For the next 6 years?
Jeez.
5 or 6 years?
Jeez.
So yeah, they were like and I was like, I was at the time one of those people that was like, what do I need more shoes? Like these shoes are fine. And those shoes are right there on a box of like probably 2014s, 2013s. And yeah, it's just, they're just out there and I see them and I'm like, man, this was acceptable to me for a long time.
Right.
And now it's like I've got just so much other stuff, and kind of like what me and my kicks was saying, it's like I've got a lot of stuff to choose from. I mean, I don't obviously, like, you guys know my collection. Like, there's not anything that in there that's super sought after, I don't think. But there's some stuff that would get people's attention. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like you're more likely to see me in those neighborhood Ultra Boosts than any like Jordans or whatever. You know what I mean? Just because
And that's another reason I need drop fronts. Because again, the reason
Oh
those vans,
yeah.
the reason those vans get put out is because they already sitting out. The rest of the shoes, they in a box and they stacked up high. And I'm not trying to go through a bunch of boxes and figure out which ones I want to put on, lace up, all that other kind of stuff. So
see that's
I
how
don't
I feel
know.
like.
I bet you when you go for those vans, every time your box just be like, oh, oh, not again.
Yeah, and hey, that's very understandable. But at the same time, like the whole drop front thing, like that would probably make it a lot more likely for me to wear certain things. Because there are some shoes, like there's a pair of Hirachis that I saw the other day. Like I didn't open the box, I just saw the box as I was like reading, because I was reading the side to find like the pair that I wanted, because it was something on my mind. And I saw those and I was like, black, purple. I'm like, what the? Yeah, those are nice. It's too bad though, not today.
right.
And I moved on and I picked up whatever it was that I wanted to wear. But if I could see more of the shoes that I have, I'd probably be a little quicker. But this month, because every so often, after enough time passes, I set aside a month to wear only new shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's going to be this month. So outside of performance reviews and stuff like that, because I do have to do another round on the trails with those Trail 36s. But other than that, everything this month is going to be shoes that have not touched the pavement yet. So that's why I bought out the 380s today. You know?
Yeah, little boy. It's a bit of disrespect to the Jays, but the struggle of not having drop fronts. And I wish I had the time to dedicate a whole month to wearing new shoes. Because another thing about that is I work so much, like 5 to 6 days a week. It's work.
Yeah. I recently picked up the census job. You know, we just go door to door and make sure people do the census or whatever. So,
okay.
Yeah,
Stan Smith was doing that for a while.
Yeah, that's what went cutting down my video production. But it's all good.
Right.
But what about to say? I got a couple questions before we get off.
All right.
What you think of the Ultra Boost 21s? I know you've seen them.
I need to see it again because I don't remember offhand.
Trash City. That's all I gotta say.
But
Trash City.
while I'm looking them up, though, what's your next question?
Who you got for who has the heat?
Me and my kicks, obviously.
I mean, you ain't gotta be biased. You know, if you.
No, but seriously though, like, so. Okay, I have these pulled up. I remember this now. I am not a fan of what's going on the lower. Let me share the screen. Hold on, so people can know what I'm talking about here. So if you're looking at this, people in the chat, like,
cancel
the lower
cancel
back of that.
Yeah,
reminds me of everything I don't like about other shoes that I don't like.
It looks like Adidas version of the Pegasus. Like, no.
Like, yes, like the Pegasus, the 35 turbos had a very profound thing going on in the back. Wasn't a huge fan of it. Don't get me wrong, like the visual is terrible, but when you're running in them, I don't think I ever put out my actual performance review, but running in those things is pretty freaking nice.
Because they look like the way they're curved and the back is pushed forward, that it puts you in a natural running motion.
Yeah,
and it makes it easier.
Exactly. All that stuff. Like when I was running in those, I was like, man, like the push off, like the energy return with each step, like the fluid motion through this, perfect. But like the lightweightness, like, yeah, great stuff. But this reminds me too much of the 380, and I'm not a huge fan of how that looks on the bottom back either. So that is not my favorite thing.
Maybe that's a shoe to do like a performance review on.
I will. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, it's like I said the other day about like the Ultra Boost or the VaporMax 2020s. Like, I don't like the way they look, but I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm not gonna get a pair because I obviously will. And man, that reminds me, I didn't do my performance for the 21s, did I? It's gonna be a busy week because I'm knocking those things out, getting these off my plate. So I'm not doing anything too soon. But me and my kicks that was his first question. Well, the other question about who has the heat. Here's the thing. The unpredictability of the questions kind of throws things off just a little bit because, and my thing and I've always felt like this, I don't think I've ever really talked about it, but when people say like, oh, I'm going to hide my collection so people can't see what I have, it's like, it doesn't matter what you have.
Right.
Yeah.
If somebody asks you, what was, your favorite release of 2016 or whatever, I might know a lot of things you have. I don't know what you're going to pull out. You know what I'm saying? And let's say maybe the only shoe that I know that you got in 2016 was the top threes. But if the first question before that was, what's your favorite multicolored, shoe? And you pull it out for that, it's like, man, I don't know what he's going to pull out next. It doesn't matter, right?
No, I feel
so
you.
much.
And we all know me and my kicks got everything.
Right. And then then there's like the chat aspect of it. Because like what might beat somebody one day might not be like the greatest thing, but people because there's the whole thing of getting tired of seeing certain things, which does happen. That is a factor, though you should always answer honestly. But then there's the other piece of it to where someone else might show something that like you may not hate this or be tired of it, but this thing is like new and you're like, wow, that is really cool. Like I've never even seen those before.
Yeah, one thing I hate is like, you get that aspect, they be like, oh yeah, we don't want to sell the same shoes, but then you'll pull out a different shoe, but they bust out like the Space Jam or the Concords for like the 11th time, and you're like, damn, what's the Concord? I got to vote for it. Like, oh my God, I thought you didn't want to see this.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like the weirdest thing, and I get that for the name of the shoe or for the name of the show, it kind of like puts your head in a certain place because you're trying to, play things a certain way. But what it all comes down to is like, how does that shoe fare against the other one that's pulled out? And what does the chat think, which is the bigger thing,
Right.
So as I look at the people that are in there, there's a good chunk of them that I don't know. And I don't know if it's just like me and I'm like living some sheltered life over here. But there's a nice chunk of people that I don't know, which is good because I know some of them may not be YouTube people. Some of them could just be on Instagram, just have a handful of pairs, right? I mean, if you go back to early last year, like to my name, I had a fair amount of shoes. At the time where I lived, not so much. And nobody knew who I was. There's still a lot of people who don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't mean you can't like do all right. You know what I'm saying? So now looking at it though, knowing who has enough stuff that they can, also the other part being to carry them through the season, that's a factor, right? So I know you've got like a crazy lineup of diversity that you can pull out. Like, how many rounds? If you go to the end, you have to do what, like four to 5?
Yeah, 4 to 5 rounds, and then it's like literally like you pay like until you get to the championship, it's like 4 battles, so like 20 shoes.
So
like 25 shoes,
yeah. So it's like
you can definitely handle that.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of people that have some stuff that could answer a lot of things, and so let me pull up because I think there might have been some other name in there that I recognize as like having.
I'm sure Skip goes hard. Like that was like he was like I was like okay, he's gonna be competition. But like not only does he have like okay shoes, but he has a following, so he can be like, hey, come on my channel, come on and just vote for me, and he can just completely wipe a person out just off votes.
That's the thing that I don't like, but I understand, and I'm not gonna be mad about it. It's just like it's no different than if you're running for like school president or whatever kids run for nowadays. Like if you're like the popular kid and you're like, or you're on like the wrestling team and stuff, and you're like, hey man, like I won state, help me win the presidency, or whatever. But like, let's see.
And then the Retro Wiz kid, he was supposed to be in it, and he was going to be big competition
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah.
But he pulled out.
Okay, so I don't know this person. I see. I think I follow him like 10.5. I guess it is.
Yeah, he be in
10.5.
the chat. He be in the chat sometimes. So I know of dude.
Yeah.
He seems to have a decent number of shoes.
Yeah, 10.5, like he pretty thorough.
But
the guy I'm going against, I don't know, like it's weird. Like I checked out his Instagram. He like I guess he like sells shoes or he's part of like a shoe like store or whatever. And like so I don't
That's
know
the
what he
worst.
got. You know, I
Right.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he got. So like the shoes he putting on his channel, I mean on his page is trash, but like you don't know what he got. You know, he could
Right. He probably loaded with shoes.
Yeah.
Especially if he sell them that he can just pull out.
Yeah.
yeah, like looking at this now, there's a lot of names, like 12 of them that I don't know. I mean, there's a possibility that there might be some mutual follows in here, but you know the way Instagram is, if you follow like more than like 100 or something people, like you tend to just see the people that you talk to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Skip goes hard. Like I feel like he's got a good collection, but I don't know where it stands as far as like diversity. If it's like pull out like some kind of Asics this or Saucony that or Saucony, however that word is pronounced.
Yeah.
I don't know what his, and I hate to use the word, but like his range of his collection is.
I don't think he has much range as well. I think but he has enough to get back. Like if you ask him for a favorite Reebok, he can give you a Reebok. But like they only ask the exit question one damn time on that show, so like he don't even have to worry about like.
Right.
See, unfortunately, I'm gonna get in the situation I can feel it in which like they'll be like, oh, we'll bring out some heat. So then I pull out one of my heat. When I pull out one of my heat shoes, then they gonna ask another damn question that requires you to use another like heat shoe, and then I'm like by the time I'm like, damn, I got to pull out 11. So, you know, because I'm answering the questions in general. Like, I mean, if they ask me for like what's your iconic shoe? Let me get this Concord. Let me pull it out because like I'm answering the question to win. You feel me? I'm not going to not going to
exactly.
throw anything up the chance unless I'm like up big. Like if I'm up 2-0 or 3-0, okay, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and. Let me put a little me and my kicks aspect on it, but unless I'm up 3-0, I'm
yeah. Because if you have it pretty much won, because like Homegrown and I were talking about when I did the last sneaker battle thing I did, it was like that gauntlet match, and the last round was first person to 6 wins, right? Instead of like best of 3, best of 5, like first person to 6. So however many that is, we're doing it. And BX, he won 5 rounds in a row, and then Mr. A to Z won 3. But I mean, he would have had to win one, like obviously 6 to win. And so at that point, BX, like he wasn't pulling out bad shoes. It's just, you know, attention sneakers got, or Mr. K to Z, whatever you want to call him. He just happened to pull it off. You know, that was 3 times. But yeah, like if you're up, you can do that, you know, but you still got to be sure because, you know, what you use in those rounds, you can't use later.
Exactly.
So you got to be like careful, like if it's like maybe it's like a good movie related shoe or TV themed shoe, and you're thinking like, I could pull this out because it is one of my favorite OG colorway 3s. But it goes perfectly with this other thing that could potentially come up.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, it's a lot of second guessing. And you also seem to know your collection pretty well from, you know, conversations I've seen you in and stuff as far as what you have. And that's the other thing. It's like for me, like if you ask a question, some things will come to mind. But I mean, like Homegrown Kicks and I were talking earlier, and I said something about the Dornbecker 7s, the ones with like the guitar vibe to them. And then later we were talking about 7s, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I only have 3 pair because I have like the Bordeaux, I have the Pantones, and I have the Platinums. And then we're deeper into the conversation, and he said like the Dornbeckers. I'm like, Dornbeckers. Like I have 4. I have those 2. And like I had already talked about that. So
even with my shoes in the boxes, like I had a pretty good feel on what I had, because like when I was like finally converting over, I was like, hold on, I'm missing the shoe. What the heck is that other shoe? And then okay, here it go. Okay, all right, and then I put it where it needed to go, and then like it was only 1 or 2 times in which like I was like, damn, I did have those, and then I had to like rearrange how I was going to set up. So, but yeah.
That's like for me right now, since my stuff's all in boxes, but there's only so much stuff that for me would be relevant to pull out in your average sneaker battle.
Yes.
Right? Because like I don't see any case where I'm pulling out those weird green Air Max 90s that I got from the outlet. Like I don't see them fitting any question. Even if it's like pull out a green shoe. I've got so many green shoes, especially if you're leaving it open to all shades.
Yes.
I got you.
That's like what is it? That Adidas question where I pulled out them Adidas Roundhouse, but I got like 2 pairs of Yeezys sitting in the car.
To this day, I was like, gee, like, oh, you must not want to win. You just okay, you just don't want to win. Okay, all right, I see you having fun, because like that was an easy layup question, especially based off what Coffee pulled. I'm like, oh, come on, man, easy, just okay, just put your foot on the snack right quick. I'm like, oh, this is how y'all gonna do me, okay? Like, y'all ain't got no range, okay.
And that's like, and what was it? In that same round, like, so BX and Payne 82, they went up against each other at some point during the gauntlet, right?
They did. Damn, I missed it.
Oh, that was a good night. It was a long one. Like you should watch it in 3 separate things, because it was 3 separate battles, because it's 4 people randomized.
Okay.
So the first round, like, you know, you randomize it. The 2 people at the bottom of the list, they face off. Somebody gets eliminated. Then the other 2 people, they get randomized. Whoever's name is at the bottom, they come in, they face that winner. That winner takes on the person that was left. So that's why it was the 2 battles.
Man.
I think it was the middle one. Yeah, the middle one was Payne versus BX. And the first question was pull out a shoe that's related to a movie.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, movie or TV show. And they both pull out the He Got Games, but BX had like the 13s and Payne had the foams, right? Surprise.
Okay.
But the thing was, had Payne pulled out the Paranormans, he would have taken that round. More than likely.
I'm surprised he didn't pull those out. I'm surprised he didn't do that.
But the reason he didn't, because he said, man, I should have pulled those out. But the way where he was facing at the time and where his display case is, it was like behind him or something. So he was looking at his shoes, but not seeing those. And I think he had just got them or something not too long before that. But the thing is, looking back at it, if he had won that round, that one would have gone all 7, and he potentially could have gone on and taken the final match with Mr. K to Z. But you know, it was fun though. Like I wanted to do that idea. I knew it was going to take a little while, and it did. But it actually was as streamlined as it could have been, given that there was essentially 3 battles in it. We went straight from question to question to question to question, you know. It also helped that the way I did the voting was there was an even number of people in the panel, right?
Yeah.
And then the chat. So that way you have like 5 or whatever, some odd number.
Yeah.
But most of those votes were won through the panel. So it was like, oh, well, if it's 4 of them and they're already 3-1, this guy's going to win. But then you look at the chat anyway, just to see what they said.
Gotcha.
I think there was only like 2, maybe 3 rounds that night that came down to like needing the chat to like be the tiebreaker.
Okay. I wonder what they voting system going to be this time around, because I know that's going to be a difference. And then because like it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
That I'm wondering too, because like
when is that supposed to kick back in?
I don't know. I think they said like after. I don't know.
Next Saturday, not like
So not Labor Day weekend, but next
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because like for me, like, well, I will say like the first time we did it, I was like, okay, there weren't a whole lot of people in there, which was what I expected. So it was easy to kind of like look at the chat and
Yeah.
just kind of eyeball it for the most part. They're usually chat votes aren't always one side, at least from my channel, but most of the time they were, right? And so it kind of made it easy,
Yeah.
to be able to look in there and just kind of not have to count and be like, okay, hey, who's counting for BX? Who's counting for Pain? And just like go through this. No, it's like I'm looking at like 14, 15 votes. They're all right there.
That's how
And
it is
like
for Monday Misso.
But I do, because there are ways that they could do it. There are a lot of options out there. It's just finding the one that makes the most sense is the hardest part of it. Because I know like the question of like doing stories came up where you just put it on Instagram and everybody just goes to it and just kind of tags whatever. The issue there, as far as I'm concerned, is that if you're watching on your phone, when you switch out of it, like I have like the YouTube Premium, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But some people don't have that. So if you switch away from YouTube, to my understanding, like it stops your involvement in whatever you're watching.
Yeah.
So if you have like a separate web page or whatever,
it's gonna be tough.
One thing, like if they were they could keep, and one thing that I considered doing, but then I realized like, no, I don't need to do that because I'm going to work around it in another way. Like if they were to streamline the voting and get people to truly go by what they do. So for me, when I was doing the voting, to make it easy, I'd say vote homegrown, type like HG or coffee, right?
Yeah.
So that way, all I'm looking for is that. Because if I'm looking for like, and it's saying like 13, like, I'm like, who had the 13? And, oh, okay, yeah. But I look at it like that, right? So if you take that and you just like, you can just real quick, if you're on a computer, copy, throw that in like any sort of Word document, and you do like a little scan thing or Excel, do find, it'll show you where that is found, imported through Excel. If you like tab it out right, you can just filter it by duplicates real fast, no human intervention as far as actually reading it, and you get your result right there, plain and simple.
That's a big budget now.
The only thing is duplicates.
Right.
Yeah. But that's
a big budget sneaker battle right there.
That's the thing. Like if you use like Excel and you copy and paste, and that's like per line, it should be name that's saying something and what they said.
Oh yeah, no,
So if you take out those, so it's like you can do that, right?
Yeah, you would need to like find out. You need to like type up the program, but I know what you're talking about. Like easily, yeah. What he talking about? There's definitely some advanced Excel knowledge you need to know.
Right. Not really, but I mean, obviously, like I'm like a computer guy. That's what pays the bills for me. So to me, it's like, no, just do this. But it's one of those things where you could probably throw in a simple macro or something, but it could work easily, right? And it would. It's just like for me, that idea came to mind, but I was like, I don't have that many people that I have to deal with. It's not that serious. And again, controlling like the number of voters I had, that made it so much easier. I was like, yeah, this is perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Macro would knock that out though. I ain't gonna lie, it would.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Did you have other questions?
No, I'm done. I'm gonna leave you alone. What about to say? If little boy's still in the chat, I say the best shoe of the year is those. I'll give it to the Bubba Chucks. I'm sorry. No. They got Bubba Chucks. Bubba Chucks. Yeah.
Bubba Chucks.
Best shoe. Those work really good. As far as
they still drop. I'll say the off-white bread fours. Only because that's like the most anticipated shoe for me.
Without thinking too much more, because I'm trying to. I mean, I draw blanks like easily when it comes to like trying to keep up with these. Because again, if you have like Jordan alone is doing like 2 or 3 releases every week, you know, there's all kinds of other stuff. But as far as things that stand out, right? Like those Bubba Chucks, because when I compare those to something like the Chunky Dunks or whatever those were called, like those, they were trying to do a lot, and they did a lot, but they did too much, in my opinion. Same with the Bear shoes. What was that? The Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Like
People came to their senses about those.
Some things just do too much. But the Bubba Chucks, they did a lot, not too much, and they did it right.
But it worked well. Yeah.
The presentation was solid. Everything about those was like so well done. And it's a question, which gives it extra points, in my opinion, anyway.
Yes.
And fairly accessible from what I saw. I didn't see everybody walk away with them, but I saw a lot of people win. So that was cool, right? But those, I think that would definitely be one that stands out as far as like releases that everybody was talking about and lived up to the expectations, even if you weren't looking at them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to second that, especially over those Chunky Dunks. Man, no, I did not like those shoes.
They're okay, but see, like, hopefully I don't, like, they be like, hey, bring out a hype shoe, and then I pull out a Bubba Chuck, and they pull out some Chunky Dunks.
Dunkies, yeah, they're going to go with the Chunky Dunkies.
Like, what the heck? These people are going for hype because these Chunky Dunkies.
But the thing is now, though, a lot of people have, like I said, come to their senses about the Chunky Dunkies and realize that they were inventive, but they're not all that great. They're especially not like resale value great.
Yeah, because I think people need to, and again, because there was nothing on the line minus a gift card that I don't think anybody knew that they were winning anything when they were doing my little battles. But there's nothing really out there on the line. People just voting for whatever. So as long as you have people that are committed to voting for the thing that they like, unless the question, because we had a few of them, was like, no, vote for the story. Which story do you like best? It's like, okay, sure, cool. Slight change.
Little boy, appreciate you for hanging in there with us.
Yeah. So if you pull in a question where it's like, pull out like, a hyped shoe or something, if the chat might go in there and like, oh, I got to vote for the most hyped shoe. It's like, no, vote for the one that you like the most. Because obviously, like, we've all seen some very hyped shoes that we don't like at all.
But nobody knows how to separate that nowadays.
Right.
That's like the hardest thing. Like trying to actually compete with the hype and trying to actually answer the question, so to speak. Because a lot of sneaker battles you'll see, they're not answering the question.
Right. Yeah, it sucks. It's a little ridiculous. I mean, but there's like nothing you can't tell people how to vote. Like, because you want everybody to vote, but at the same time you want informed votes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want votes that are like based on some sort of reasoning behind it, not just, oh man, like, that's an 11. I can't vote against that.
What are you saying? Like, the question looks like a futuristic space shoe compared to the Dunks.
Let's see the question.
Yeah.
The questions do have, I guess, like when you look at them from the side, I can see that. But looking at some of those, I don't know, those over the limit dunks, then they just become gaudy and kitsch-ish to me. And then it's like, okay, you reached a point to where you could have been okay, and then you like jumped 2 steps past it. And nobody needs all of that. Right? So like when I see something like, well, I've seen some standard dunks where it's just like your typical leather or whatever's on them. It's just good materials with the right color layout, and that's enough sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, I mean, people look at certain Air Max ones. It's like it's not like the have a Nike day. It doesn't have all these things going on, but it's a simple. Got some white, a little bit of gray, this green on the bottom. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I actually really like what Nike has done with the SB Dunk this year. They also killing with the Air Max 1 releases. Yeah, Air Max 1s, they get a lot of attention. This year has been good for 90s as well. I wish that a fraction of that attention would go to some pluses, though. I really do, because I like the plus a lot.
Pluses. I think
I'm kind of glad that they're not whoring the pluses, because Nike has the tend to overdo all of the good shoes that they drop, and I'm glad they have not done that with the plus.
Well, I'm not saying to go all out and like overboard. What I mean is just like the general release colorways that they put out. I do like this black pair of like the red striping kind of, but they haven't really made many this year that caught my attention. Because believe me, I'm all about that, digging into like Nike's, hey, this is what's on sale because it won't get off the shelves on its own. I looked over there a lot, and I just haven't seen many pluses popping up that I would like to have. Same with like 97s. So I wish that sometime maybe if they would do like a pack or something and just say, hey, this colorway is also going to be like they did with the frequency pack like a couple of years ago. If they would just put it also on the one, or I mean, you throw it on the one, throw it on a plus as well, maybe a 98 from time to time, because those also get forgotten about. But though I think my 98 video did all right for me, by my standards. So somebody likes them out there. But yeah, it has been good for Air Max 1s and Air Max 90s this year. Very good. Let's see, Air Max Uptempo 95 for like $60. People sleep on these.
Air Max Uptempo 95. What the fuck are those?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering myself.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Those been slipping. Those been sleeping for a while. They got something like the Air Max 95s. The neon ones, the gray and neon ones.
Oh,
they freaking those colors. They've been freaking out that Air Max 95 colorway for the longest, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes
with the Uptempos, for me, as Mike Rich would say, they're ant bed stumperish.
Yeah.
They just they just too thick for me, and that big air on the side.
No, that's not. No, this different from what he's talking about. Those, like, hold on, let me get the screen.
Let me see.
Yeah, I got it, because I have it pulled open in another tab. So I'll just share that real quick. Is that it? Nope. Man, where is it?
Oh, okay. I see it. That 95 colorway, the black and neon green and the gray and neon green, that's all right. They all right.
I can't wait till Nike brings out the 95s in that colorway again, because when they came out like 4 or 5 years ago, I was trying to get them on sale, and then they walked past me. So I was like, damn. So
another question.
It's supposed to be retroing.
The Nike Denim 90s.
I mean, they still ant beds, ant moon hill stomperish, but they're pretty nice.
No, I'm not sure what those are either.
It's like what are you talking about? Those like some Air Max 1s, but like on StockX they're going for $780. I don't know if they came out yet though. They could be. But I mean they're okay. They're pretty decent. Like I like the colorway on them, but it looks like they might be limited. Oh, damn, retail 300? That's crazy.
Retail 300 for what?
So some Air Max 1s, the Denhams or whatever.
Air Max 1?
Yeah, type in Air Max 1 Denham, DENHAM.
Okay, yeah, because the first thing recommended was 95, so I just went with it because I didn't know if it was specific. Okay, I see him now. I mean,
They
I'm
decent,
not a
but
fan.
they not on
Personally.
300.
like
I don't know if I'm a super huge fan of it. There are aspects about that shoe that I like, but for 300, nah.
Oh, that's an easy pass for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
but honestly,
yeah.
for me, this is a pass at retail like 110, 120 of like normal Air Max 1 price. I do like gum bottoms. That's kind of a nice touch most of the time. But what's going on in that middle area?
Yeah, I think that's what it is for me.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Because it looks like some nubuck and like some nubuck or suede on the tan and blue, and
Now,
then you got
looks
like
like you guys have turned them.
No, the shoe ain't came out yet. That's why they so high. But with retail
you got like
300, if
a
retail
leather
300, then they gonna be
swoosh.
limited. So you are
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna be super limited.
yeah.
Well, good luck to you, little boy.
Yeah, limited. It says right here, Amsterdam-based jean maker Denham and Nike have teamed up to release an up-and-coming Air Max 1 collaboration that's rumored to be limited to only 6,800 pairs. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, they got some Air Max 90s that kind of resemble like the infrareds. Those are okay. The Air Max 95s, they kind of resemble the neon green Air Max 95s. The Air Max 90s is decent, but if they cost 300, pass on those. And then the 95s is like meh. But the Air Max 1s is the best out this pack, in my opinion. But if you want me to share the screen, I can. It's up to you.
But I don't even know where that option is.
No. Let me. I think I got to do it first. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, my kicks. He know how to hack your system and take control.
Is it available?
Okay. Yeah, I see what he's doing now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the 95s, and I like the ones in the middle, the 90s.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I mean, the 95s, they look exactly like like the OGs. They just
right,
got a
yeah,
little flavor on them. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I go with the MX ones because they look more original than all of them. So that's me personally, though. But for 300, y'all can keep them.
Right. Yeah. 300 is the only thing that that steers me away from that. No Air Max 1 should ever be $300.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. That is no. No. I mean, I don't know what shoes are really worth 300.
I know, right?
I mean, I haven't worn any 700s yet, so I can't really say. Maybe, but some people speak highly of the 700. I don't know.
What you think about those foams that come out tomorrow? The 96 All-Star.
The ones with like the thing on the
side? The blue. Yeah, those.
That's not for me.
I mean, if they sit, I'm gonna try and see if I can get them on the swoosh. But yeah, I mean, like I like them because they're black and blue, and those my fraternity colors. I really don't like this. I really do not like that white that goes down the side. It's really trash. But like it looks like they got the right color blue, and because like the OG blue foams, it's not a real royal blue. It's more like a light royal blue. It's weird. It's not really the right royal blue color. But those Memphis Tiger foams, those are the royal blues. And I had to get those because like that was the perfect royal blue that I needed. I'm like, oh yeah, go and get my collection.
All right, yeah, you said Memphis Tiger, because I was thinking like Detroit Tigers, and I was like, no,
the Memphis
I know
Tiger
what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those things. Like, I'm trying to get better at the whole, like, if you look at it and it's like you're not on board, don't try to sell yourself on it.
No, I feel you. I mean, I'd only get those if they're going to sell because I can't.
But no, I will say there are times still where like you see something and you're like, you kind of like it, but you're like, man, like I want to see it in person before I commit because I want to see what shade is that really on there? What is that material, or is that more than I think it is, or what? Because there was something like those recent violet blends, and I was going to put in for those, totally forgot. But then I saw reviews, and I was glad that I didn't because I haven't done any research on them, and I did not like all that stuff they had going on.
Yeah.
It was
I was
just
about to
too
say,
much.
it's the store that's in Chicago, and I didn't even know that they sold like shoes. Like apparently like they be getting the shoes early. This place called Pillars. I did a review of them because they got 2 locations in Chicago, and the south of that location is like literally like 10 minutes away. So I just figured I'd go in there. They had the Oregon 5s, they had those white and blue 14s, they had the biohacks. I'm like, damn, I got like hella early shoes. I'm like, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to come in your store, and I'm gonna have to pull out my camera and do some early reviews and pimp out these views. So
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to come pimp these views. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not trying to buy anything as an early review, but
Yes.
that would be out there.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is some good view potential that I can tap into, and then also like I really want to get on the gram more and start posting some pics. I'm probably grab some shoes from my collection, and like how like you'll be like with the Oregon phones, you can pull out the Oregon and the Michigan phones and like put a head to head, like which one do you get, or if you want to go all colors of the 5 spectrum, you could do the Michigan 5s, the Oregon 5s, the Great 5s, the reverse ones that recently just came out. You could do the Fire Red 5s, the Blue 5s, like just put them together. So hopefully, the store owners, they know me and they pretty cool. So hopefully they can allow me to do my vision like I want.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. Like, got to build that rapport. I do not have it right over here because when I moved here, everything shut down like 2 months later. So I was like, well, but
where you currently at now with it? You in Virginia or?
Yeah, in Hampton.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a bad area though. I mean, raffles seem to be going all right, so that's cool.
Okay.
Decent number of shoes or decent number of stores around if you want to just like go and look through some places and just see what's on sale, because you know how the sales are inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like when I was buying some pair of NMDs from Foot Locker, well, I was trying to buy them from Foot Locker, and they're like $100 or something like that, 90, whatever. And I'm like, oh, do you have these in this size? I'm like, oh no, but I can check on the computer where else they are. And they look and like, Foot Action has them. I'm like, yeah, but I was in Foot Action and they're full price over there. Like, yeah, they are full price. It's like you're all shipping from the same place if I ordered these online. I mean, how many times have you order like from Foot Locker and it shows up in a Foot Action box, like written on?
No, that's weird. It's definitely weird, man. Like, I don't know why they don't do that, because like it was these it's these Air Max 90s that I got because they had the friends and family 50% off Foot Locker thing, and I was at Foot Locker and they only had the Air Max 90s in 11.5, and I went 11 in them, but they was like already marked down to 90, so half off was like 45. So I was like, okay, what are the 11 at? And they was like, you gotta go to Champs. So I went to Champs and they were full price, and I'm like, all right, yeah, over there at Foot Action, they $90. They're like, oh, okay, we'll go over there at Foot Action. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing, because like they're all really the same. Like once you get like this next level higher, basically, but they act in store like they're completely different. Like you're going into Walmart trying to price match with Target,
Yeah, it's very weird. But Payne saying the new phone's fire is kind of like a kid saying, "Oh, this new toy, I want it." Like, obviously every phone is hot, like
Well,
but
have you
seen? Did you see those? I'm sorry. Did you see those plastic bag phones that's only for kids? It's like half a Nike day. It's just, bro, those is pressure, and they only come out in kids. I wish they came out in men's. They like, let me see if I can find them.
But no, I mean, and I'm sure like whatever the release date of those upcoming phones is, subtract a few days, and I bet you that's when Payne has a review up.
You'll get a review of the kids' phones from Coffee.
Because because I know he had his Detroit Tigers phones video up.
Oh yeah, he be getting them early. He been getting them early recently. I ain't gonna lie, he has been he has been consistent with getting them early.
Yeah.
So that's pretty decent.
I mean, hey, you know a way to make it happen.
That's big money.
Big
I
money, big money pain.
I would
Right.
have had my review up if it hadn't been for Nike
Yes.
telling me that they were going
With
out.
the lace swap, he will have it with a brand new lace swap before it even came out. Like it's crazy.
Yo, those are nice. Those
Oh,
are
yeah. I think 313 was talking about these.
Yeah, these crazy. Did they got any more pictures?
like I'm not a huge foam guy, and
It looked like this leather too. Like it's not like the foam material. It looked like it's leather. If this is leather, they going crazy, bro. Like these is ridiculous. If this part is leather,
right.
they going.
Like I'm not a huge foam guy, and if you would have told me they were putting a Dollar General bag theme on it,
Look at
I
this.
would have probably laughed at you. But
Look at the carbon fiber swap with the Just Do It, boy. They,
yeah, that's crazy.
it look like it's leather, bro. See,
Yeah,
they Nike need to stop playing. Nike need to stop playing. This is crazy. We need to get that in men's real talk.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, like, it's not for me. It's like a little too much white or whatever. But I mean, I say that as a not so proud but owner of the FIBA 12s. So
Coffee with the Foe review coming soon. Stay on the lookout.
I was
That's
thinking about reaching back. I was thinking about reaching back and getting those 12s, but then I was like, yeah, they all white. I ain't gonna do it, man.
I mean, I like the detailing on them where it has like the flags and stuff on like the mud guard area.
Yeah.
Is that how they are?
Yeah, I think that was one of the
I feel
reasons
like
why I passed
down
on those
here it's got
12
that.
as well.
And then
Because they're all white.
some kind of weird, like feeling leather type of something.
How do you feel about those Obsidian 12s or the Indigo 12s?
Oh, those
Right.
I'm cool with
Neat.
them. They're very soft here. I was talking about that earlier, how they feel like what do you want to call it? I guess I compared it to a fresh roll of toilet paper earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm about to say, all you gotta do is put some white laces in there. You got indigo, so boom. You know, I mean, you got obsidian, so boom.
No, it's not the same. They're nice. They are nice, but you know, something by a different name is something else because it has a different name. So maybe one day somebody at Jordan Brand or wherever will decide to put those obsidians out there again, and hopefully luck goes in my favor.
Jordan Brand knows exactly what they're doing, which is why they have not retroed the taxis.
Hey, we got the Chinese New Year 12s, man. You should have got them when they was hot. You should have got them when they was out, man.
Yeah, I got the 12s. I did get those Chinese New Year 12s.
Oh, you got those, okay?
Yeah. I got a custom box for those, as a matter of fact.
Because I can say, like, there are things that I don't have because I didn't try, and there are things that I don't have, and it's not for a lack of trying. That was one. Sometimes things just don't work out. Like we were talking about earlier, it's like I get through on a lot of the stuff that I want. So I have no ground to stand on when it's time to complain. Things just don't always go my way. I wanted those 4D Ultra Boosts, right? Didn't work out.
Yeah, no. For $400, yeah.
No, they weren't. They were 200.
The original 4D?
No, the one that came out. It's like an Ultra Boost upper, but on a 4D shoe. On a 4D.
The black and purple ones?
Yeah.
So I wanted those, but hey, you know, things happen. But I'm sure that later on they'll put out a whole bunch of them. But you know, it was black and purple, and that's one of those colorways that I rarely happen to find. So I wanted it, but you know, the raffle did not work out. So, but again, like I've won so many other raffles in general overall from Adidas that to complain about missing out on that one, whatever.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, yeah, that's why I don't really complain. Like if I missed out, I missed out. You know what I'm saying? Like You know, I don't know. Like people they be reaching back paying like I did this sneaker battle with this guy. He's like a big reseller. I didn't know until like we was like doing the battle because he was just like, but it was like one of those like sneaker battles in which like there was no direction. Like they was like, all right, just pull out 10 shoes. I'm like, just pull out 10 shoes. That's it. Like no categories, nothing. He was like, oh okay, all right, let's do 3 Nikes, 3. I'm like, bro, come on, all right, I see what it's gonna go. So we was just battling. And like he was throwing out all types. He had like the rust pink ones. He had a couple like off white this, off white that, and he was just talking about how much he paid for them. I'm like, yeah, man, the most I paid for a shoe was $400, bro. And then, like I still kind of regret it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's
my most because like I said, I got them because I was gonna see about using them to trade for something. But I don't know. I might actually wear them. I've made no decision whatsoever. But the most I paid for a shoe is still retail, and it's those 700s, right? The Wave Runners. They're sitting in a box somewhere over there. But past that, as far as like a personal thing, $250 because the abalone foams and the Chinese New Year foam or 12s from last year were both $250.
That was a regret.
You talking about those navy ones that they tear away?
No, the all black ones. They had the black uppers that looked like the Chinese 12s from the year before.
But like you can tear it away, like if you under it.
It was rubber underneath it and had like that little silk black fabric on top.
Hold on, so those weren't navy? I thought those was navy. Those I thought so. It's
no,
black?
you talking about the international 12s that were navy?
No. I know which ones you're talking about. The one that had that fabric that you cut up under, and it had that like little like vibrant design. I thought those was navy. So those are black?
Yeah, those are black.
Oh, okay. I'm colorblind then. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, it's black. So I mean, they're a decent looking shoe. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not one that I like, flaunt. Well, actually, I guess I don't flaunt any of my shoes, but it's not one that I've like, hey, I got those Chinese New Year 12s, right? It's like nobody wanted those then. I don't think anybody wants them now, other than people who just like 12s. But it's kind of a cool concept, being able to like to tear it away. But it's like I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's too much work to tear them away. There's
also a high possibility for error from what I've seen online. So
it's rubber underneath it, and it's like a hard rubber or something like that. So
I don't know what it is. I assumed it was like the same feeling as normal shoe, but I don't even care. But it's one of those things. I like it as it looks better than what I've seen. I just think it's cool that it's a feature, but not a feature that I would take advantage of.
That's why I was disappointed. I paid $250 for them, $250 plus tax, because I was like, I like how they look, but if I'm paying $250 for the feature and what it looks like underneath it, then it's not worth $250.
Indeed,
definitely not worth that.
No. But anyways, it's about coming up on that 4-hour mark. So go ahead and wrap this up. Again, it was just wanted to jump on here for a little while, talk about some things and whatnot. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead. You guys want to tell people, there's still a couple people hanging out, where they can find you and all that good stuff?
All right, I was about to say, for little boy, you got to go onto the channel, man. Go on, type me up and subscribe to the channel, bro. Go on, search for your boy, little boy. Go ahead, no. But it's your favorite shoe tuber, Me and My Kicks. Check me on all forms of social media at Me and My Kicks. And I was about to say, I would do a sneaker battle with you guys this weekend if you were doing it, but I'm gonna be out of town, so I won't be able to do it.
No.
And I think you're probably gonna stop it once they start up their sneaker battle. So I always wanted to.
They might continue in a different way, definitely a different day, because we're not doing the Monday Night Wars over here. But that's a thing to be addressed. But there's the link to Me and My Kicks channel in the chat. So go ahead and click on that. You won't regret it.
What is up, YouTubers and YouTubies? It is your boy Homegrown Kicks. subscribe to my channel. Check me out. New to the YouTube thing. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about some of my videos. Growth doesn't come without advice. And as I always say in the end of my videos, nothing is impossible. Fight for everything you believe in. Don't let anything stand in your way. And dream hungry.
All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys coming through. Appreciate everybody in the chat. And also, like, please don't hesitate to leave some comments and some videos or whatever. Let me know if there are things that you guys want to see on the channel or you want to hear my thoughts on any particular releases, you know, and I'll see if I can oblige. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get this whole thing wrapped up. Again, both of their links are in the description. Me and My Kicks is the first one. Homegrown Kicks is the second one. Not description. Chat is what I meant. But for now, from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And we'll all be back online eventually. Follow the channels and you'll know exactly when. Later, people.
So that's what Bo Kick say. Go.
Right.